Just like a bunch of them.
The fuck?
Remember the old Indian littering commercials where they threw trash at his feet?
And then tear went down.
Yeah,
We got a red dot.
you got
A
that.
lot of things come to life in the forest.
Notice I stopped that real fast.
Yeah, it's the U.S. National Archives. It's just Smokey Bear Fire Prevention.
Super creepy.
That's weird.
You didn't go live though.
We're not doing.
Oh,
live
that's
anymore.
right. Duh.
Yeah, we're not doing the live no more. Nobody listens to this show.
SmokeyBear.com.
Get the fuck. That one freaks me out. That's as bad as the Berenstein Bears.
Berenstein Bears is just a mispronunciation. This is a whole different name.
Drown your campfires with water.
I'm gonna look at other Mandela effects.
Wet, then stir and drown again. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Smokey Bear says.
That's so weird.
No way, bro.
And the Berenstein Bears, like, okay, mispronunciation, but who would say Berenstein when it's stain?
It's just
spelled.
It's just how you read it, though. Honestly,
I
different.
legitimately remember EIN.
Yeah, and I watch the shows and shit, and they're like,
I
oh,
thought
it's
it was
Brother
too.
Bear, the Berenstein Bears.
You know where that started too, right? The Mandela effect name and all that. Like which one that popped up from?
No.
Nelson Mandela's death.
Yeah, people
You
thought
know
he
what
died in
time
like the
it
80s.
is.
Podcast Tuesday.
This truck
Live from Made to Motivate.
Has the goddamn
Podcast.
Police house on a Tuesday night? Damn it!
What up, guys? This is Made to Motivate Podcast. This is your host, Ryan Weiss, and you are here for Season 2, Episode 23, like the GOAT, Michael Jordan. I'm joined, as always, by
outta
my
here.
co-host, Nicholas Mancuso.
What up, guy?
What up, guy? We've got Jesse Unk from Sports Illustrated.
Which makes me the sports expert, and LeBron is the GOAT.
All right, and then Chris, the film freak, Kessinger.
What's up, sir?
What it is, gentlemen.
Is that the right pronunciation of your name?
So I get a lot of
Is it
questions about this.
Kessinger?
Because I saw a comment.
It's supposed to be Injure.
Kessinger.
Yeah. But like a lot of people say Kessinger.
That's stupid.
I don't care. It's
So we're saying it
Kessinger.
right, though?
Injure. Yeah.
Kessinger.
Kessinger.
Mancuso.
Okay.
How do you say Unk?
Unk.
Unk. It's not Weiss. It's Weiss.
Weiss.
And our host, Ryan Weiss.
Fucking
Bro,
jack.
I got some soup at home, and it's from like Mother Weiss.
It's too hot.
Mother
for,
Weiss.
It's too hot for soup, bro.
It's hot.
It's like 90 degrees out.
Dude, I was at Winking Lizard today, and
Turn the air on.
I regretted not getting the soup.
Soup is
Really?
hot right now.
Soup's good all the time.
French onion, bro.
French
the
onion.
GOAT.
Applebee's French onion.
Yes.
Applebee's French onion is the slam.
Never had it.
Oh,
I never had
man.
it either.
it's so good.
Yeah.
Rockney's has got good French onion too.
They do.
You gotta get extra pita.
Their pita slams, but it's not as good as Applebee's.
Dude, the French onion soup
Oh,
that
yeah.
you made looked incredible.
You actually made it?
I didn't make no French onion soup.
Yeah, I was
You
about to
didn't
say
make no
this
French
dude
onion
didn't make
soup?
no French
No.
onion soup.
Mandela effect.
Somebody I know made some
Hey.
French
No,
onion
I
soup.
brought-
thought it was you.
I bought the Crocs
yeah.
and I bought all the supplies. I just never made it.
Yeah, I remember you talking about it.
Mhm.
Disappointing.
I even bought the little blowtorch to toast the tea cheese.
Nick, what did you do since last week? Did you make French onion soup?
No.
Oh, okay.
I went to the doctor on Thursday to get some ultrasounds for my kidney stones.
Yeah. Did they give you a little wash?
No.
God, that's still going on.
Yeah. Then I worked all day, and then my leg's been killing me. So I went to the ER after work to get another ultrasound because I'm going on the trip to North Carolina this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You didn't pee out that stone?
I wanted to check for a blood clot,
Bro, pee
Just to make
that
sure.
Stone out.
Damn.
and that was negative. So
No blood clots, but you still got a stone in your balls.
somewhere.
Jesse,
Thanos.
Yeah.
anything fun?
No.
Let any hamsters go?
All the groundhogs are gone.
What?
My dad got in a motorcycle accident, so that was not cool, but he's fine.
Sketch, bro.
He probably totaled his bike, but no broken bones, no bruises, or nothing. He's good to go. He's just really sore. And then my wife has.
Nick's over here on the Spaceship Enterprise.
Right?
Freaking data.
What are you
It
doing?
looks like Cyclops.
My wife got a blood clot in her leg, though. That's why Nick was afraid of his
Jeez.
blood clot because he saw that she had one, so he had to go and check for himself.
Wait, how did we not know this? We're not privy to this information?
You're
You
supposed
didn't
to.
know this?
You didn't tell us that she had a blood
She
clot?
put it all over Facebook.
Last time I knew she had pregnant fingers and nothing about a blood clot.
Eczemus fingers?
Extremis finger.
I don't think I'm friends with her on Facebook.
Oh well.
What happened?
So we've been going through IVF, and she had to start like a new type of birth control to start that whole process for like a week.
That's where they help Jesse make his baby gravy.
Yeah, pretty much. And and it can give you blood clots, but it's like it just thickens your blood or whatever. And she hadn't taken that brand before. So at the end of that week, her legs started to hurt. And I thought she just pulled her quad or something. And she finally went in because it hurt so bad at like 5 o'clock in the morning. She woke up and went to the emergency room, and they were like, "Yeah, you got a blood clot." So
Blood clot?
blood clot.
Got a blood clot?
At least you didn't have a crip clot.
Jesse, if you took it,
Why did I laugh at that?
Jesse, if you take it, will help you thicken some other things up.
Dude, I'll be
Embarrassed.
trash.
Wait.
Like your hairline? Is that what you get thick enough?
Ooh.
I was talking about your wanker.
Oh, that's thick enough.
My shit's growing back fast.
We can whip them out on live.
Yours is growing back pretty thick.
Well, yours is.
Dude, your hair grows back fast.
Yeah.
Oh.
You gotta shave it.
We
Like,
can shave it again.
I don't want to do it every week though. Like maybe bi-weekly, but
just do it every day.
Bi-weekly's fine, man.
What happened to you shaving your head? You were gonna shave your head
Yeah,
and keep the beard.
I got a haircut
Come
tomorrow.
here.
I got a haircut Monday.
I've been drinking.
you
Christopher.
guys.
What's
Well,
going on, pal?
the week started
Buddy,
off
old pal.
rough because I got into a confrontation at work that I didn't tell you guys about.
Oh, you got in a fight?
Yeah, almost knocked some guy out.
Hey, let's talk about it.
He was giving me shit and getting in my face
It's like a coworker.
about something that someone from maintenance, about something that I didn't do.
Did you power bomb him?
And I was about to, but my boss wasn't there that day. So instead of doing anything, I just kind of walked away. Like I actually got in my car, went on the other side of campus because I had to get other work done over there. So I just walked away from it. Next day I come in and I talk to my boss about everything, and he goes, "Oh no, we're going to handle this right now." He gets the guy in there and he goes, exactly, quote for quote, "You are not his fucking boss.
Hey.
So you don't tell him what to do." And I was like, cool, that's all I need. So I walked out. The good was this weekend we've gotten a ton of movies that I'm still catching up on.
Yeah.
And most of them are good.
You
So
bought like 637 movies from Value Video or something, right?
Value video.
How much are these videos here? They have value, so they only $50.
This is gonna be a rough episode.
They used to be 75, but now they $50.
Didn't you go on a family video road trip?
Yeah, I went on 5 locations with my friend, and I picked up 18 new movies.
Yeah.
Oh,
Were they 18 and older?
Well, not all of them, but yeah, I just did that, and then some good movies coming out. Currently watching a Spike Lee one on Netflix, which is pretty badass.
Yeah.
Called The Five Bloods.
Okay.
Yep.
I heard you watch some Aplex movie or something.
Artemis Fowl.
Yeah.
Fucking sucked.
You gave it an F.
Oh, this movie was terrible. Like all-time worst for
Have
Disney.
you guys seen it?
I saw some other reviews, and then I got a chance to read Chris's, and everything just.
Who said it? I'm
Possible.
curious. Like this was a question I was going to ask you anyway. Who do you usually follow? Like,
I watched Jeremy Johns, and I watched
Okay.
Chris Stuckman.
so Jeremy panned it.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Is this one of the lowest review score? You gave it a low score.
This year, yeah, I've given 3 2 out of 10s, and yeah, that is one of
Have
them.
you given a 0 out of 10?
No, not yet. I haven't given a 1 either.
Ever?
So this is one of your worst.
No, this year.
Oh.
I've given zeros.
What's got in a 0?
Yoga Hoser's got a 0.
Excuse me?
Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas got a 0.
Wait, Yoga Hosers, wasn't that documentary about yoga?
No, that was that fucking awful Kevin Smith movie.
With the,
about,
with the little Nazi sausages.
Yeah. He got it.
What the fuck was that yoga thing? Do you remember that? There was some yoga
You're talking about
documentary
Yogi
that came
Bear,
out.
bro.
No, I'm not, dumbass. At
God.
the fucking theater, and I thought all these girls were going to come in like yoga pants, and it was just like all
Oh,
So that's
50,
why you
60
went
year
to the
old
movie.
hippie women.
I'd
You
be
should have went to the yoga downtown Akron.
Hey,
Block 3.
Yoga Fest, bro.
Yoga Fest.
Wasn't invited.
when did that happen?
Like every
Oh.
year at Block 3.
Bro, I was locked in my truck, and I look up
And Downward Dog.
2,000 downward dogs. Just
Oh.
picture it. 2,000 downward dogs.
That's the name of this episode.
Bro,
There it is.
Oh my god.
Got to do it now.
what do you even do? You want a t-shirt? Hey, there's 2,000 downward dogs right now. You can wait. It was incredible.
I don't know how we're gonna make it through this shit.
And then they do that one thing where they like do the arch back thing on the ground.
Mhm.
Bro, I couldn't even be there.
Damn, I didn't know about that. My whole life has been a lie.
Yoga Fest, bro.
Jesus, and I love yoga pants more than anything.
That was
Oh.
that was like one of the reasons why we wanted to keep the truck. Just for
Absolutely.
that.
Just to sign up for Yoga Fest.
Wow.
Now I got to rent like a tent.
I know.
It's not as concealed.
Now we got to pitch 2 tents.
Heyo.
Multiple tents. Yeah, Yoga Fest. Everything's delayed this year though, so we're not gonna get to
Oh,
view it.
now they're taking it too far.
Right? No shit, man. That's cool. Well,
What'd you do?
I don't know.
Well, you had a golf game today.
I golfed last weekend and I won. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had golf today.
How'd you finish today?
I went against the number 1 and number 2 guys.
Dead last?
1 and 3.
And he was 2 before, right?
I was 2.
Oh. So didn't he move into 2 since you lost?
No, he's
Chris-
number 1. He's the champion.
Chris runs this shit.
Mhm.
Anyways, I went against the top 2 people and I lost. I mean, go figure. What do you expect to happen when you're number 18? But barely.
Wait, so what is
7.
he now?
I lost
Does
by
he stay
3.
at-
7.
Now he's
Yeah.
7?
No.
No.
I lost 7 strokes and 3 strokes. I lost by 7 from the winner and 3 strokes by the second place.
So what is his rank now? Is
18.
it
He's still 18. Yeah, he had
Yeah,
nothing to lose in this game, literally.
What are Nick and Jesse's ranks?
I'm not saying shit.
19 and 21st.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Buddy, all pal.
I'm not talking shit.
19 and 21st. 18. I mean,
Can I challenge Ryan at any time?
Yes, you can.
Hey.
I'd like to challenge him right after this.
let's do it. Where are we going?
If Ryan wins, he moves up 1 spot. If you win, you take his spot, basically.
Yeah.
So
So I got nothing to lose.
your spot. You would be below Nick.
So I'll go to 19.
When you're playing players that are better than you, then you have nothing to lose.
Oh, so I stayed at 18 today.
Jesus.
Yeah, I played the mullet guy. He was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then I played UFC fighter.
Norm.
And yeah, he was hangry.
Yeah.
He wanted a Snickers.
Yeah, he went after that Reese's cup.
Oh, that's what it
fast.
was, a Reese's, yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, I just golfed. I played golf. Jesse's bailed on COD, so I've been playing that solo.
Aw.
I didn't bail. You're just not good enough to make it on the team.
Oh.
The truth comes out. That's fair.
I don't even try with that.
We should try a mini golf game on PlayStation or cross platform and see if we can play online.
Can you do that?
Are there mini golf games?
I think so.
Remember like the Lifesavers mini golf? Like,
Yes.
way back?
Oh, on the computer?
Yeah.
And you'd angle it a certain way just to like try to get it over that
So
river.
dope.
Lifesavers game was awesome. Man, that just unlocked a memory for me.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't remember Lifesavers mini golf.
You never played that? Like
No.
Lifesavers.com had like a whole bunch of games based on their
Oh.
candies, and one of them was Lifesavers mini golf.
Dude,
That's dope.
You could do like 18 full
fuck
holes.
that river, that volcano river.
Yeah,
That
they,
river.
they have
Yeah.
little Lifesavers. It's probably still on there.
You had to get it in the tube just to like the whole,
Yes.
like, and then it would ride downstream or whatever. Fuck that hole, man.
That game was awesome.
I never played that.
I used to play that in school.
Yes. It was
We
like the only
played-
game I played at
we
home. That was like
played
when the
Oregon
internet
Trail in
first started.
school.
Oregon Trail.
Died of
That's
dysentery.
what
Holy-
we played in school.
Holy shit.
That and paint, where you would just zigzag the line all over and then fill in the spots.
We used to play a game called Numbers, and like a character would jump like on a board or something, and you'd have to click a certain number. Like I'd say click 3, wait till it gets to
Okay.
3 and click it.
I
All
thought
the
you were like, we used to
entertainment.
play numbers. Like they came,
Yeah.
we used to play with abacus.
I mean,
That too. Good God. Yeah, so nothing too exciting this week. I mean, I'm glad it's nice out.
It's really
the weather's
nice
been
out.
fantastic, so that's been really cool.
you got a vacation coming up, don't you?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Vacation the week of July 4th. So that's nice. Next weekend we've got Father's Day. So show, I don't know. We'll figure out doing the show, recording.
Yeah,
Nick will be on vacation
I leave Thursday.
this coming week.
Yeah.
Dang. Going to Bojangles.
Yeah, boy.
Nick's doing a
Oh.
Bojangles road trip. So that's cool. Did you book your place and everything?
Yeah.
Nice. On the beach?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're driving Thursday night 'cause I have to work Thursday, so we're gonna
You're
drive.
gonna leave like after work?
I get off at 7, so
Oh, they gave you a little shorty short?
yeah. So we're driving to Virginia, spending the night in Virginia, and then driving the rest of the way on Friday.
Excellent.
Nice.
Hey,
So I think we're staying Friday to Wednesday.
Mhm.
that's cool. So you'll be back for the next show. Just missed this coming one.
Yeah.
Dope.
Don't forget about the tamarack.
I won't.
They close at 8.
Jeez.
5 miles, 10 miles,
I know.
2 miles, 50 feet, 20 feet, 10 feet, 5 feet.
Signs are
You missed it.
so stupid.
God.
Outside of that, I don't know. Nothing new and exciting. I guess we can try and whip up some stuff. Probably start with Hollywood Report. We got something to talk about there.
Okay.
I don't think we have anything motivational for you guys. Sorry, disappointing you, but Hollywood Report it is.
My God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure? Stay calm! Wait. Everybody calm down! Two, Steve, assemble!
Boom, 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 boom. Christopher, the film freak, hit us with some quickness.
Well, this week we were talking about it in a group chat, but Tenet and Wonder Woman 1984 have been both delayed by Warner Brothers. Wonder Woman 1984 and Christopher Nolan's Tenet are being delayed as studios grapple with when they can start releasing their biggest movies in theaters around the world. Tenet will now open on July 31st instead of July 17th, and Wonder Woman will now arrive on October 2nd.
That's some bullshit.
I wonder why that is.
So did Tenet take Wonder Woman's spot like you
Yes.
previously talked about?
Yes.
To Jesse's point, why? Chris,
They
Nick?
ship those movies out relatively quickly, and the movie's done. I don't see why they couldn't just ship them. I mean, it's all digital now.
I can make an opinion on Tenet. I don't have an opinion on Wonder Woman, though. I think Tenet, they really want this thing like 100% when they open. Like right now, there's a lot of speculation. Like theaters were supposed to open the 10th
Right.
last Wednesday. And like they're still talking about like, you know, Cinemark's saying it's going to be a 4-stage open beginning on the 19th now. Regal Cinemas is talking about July 1st is their date that they're looking at. So even then, like with a 17th release date, it's choppy because people aren't going to have faith to go back yet. And you're only going to have the hardcore fans that are in there.
They kind of want to see what the rollout, like if people actually are going to go still.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to blow up, though. I mean, the day that restaurants and stuff opened up, everything was packed.
Dude, right now, like you can't go, like we tried to go last week to get food.
Yeah, we couldn't even find a place.
Everything is packed.
You're going to tell me that movie theaters aren't going to be completely filled?
Yeah.
I just think there's so much uncertainty right now. What do you think, Nick?
At this point, I don't believe any date until I'm actually in the theater watching it. Like I can't even. I went on Cinemark's app last night to see if I could pre-order tickets. Now they have like a confirmed date again, and it's all shut down still. So until I can buy a ticket, and I'm just going to assume that everything's going to be pushed back.
What if they moved it again, man? Like from the 31st?
I'll be like, I mean, now Matrix isn't even opening until 2021
That's
or
what
2022. I mean,
Yeah, like a year and a half, I think
Yeah.
they said was delayed. That's a hell of a delay, man.
I know.
Is that because they were shooting and had to
Mhm.
stop? That makes sense, though.
I think it's good though because that movie was being released on the same day as John Wick, I believe.
Yeah, it's
So,
the Battle
like,
of the Keanus.
Yeah, so don't take away from one for the other.
Yeah.
Battle of the Keanus?
You think that stuff will be worth more? Like the major movies that are getting delayed, like the posters and stuff that are already made that have the original dates and all that stuff?
Ooh.
You think there'll be like a COVID
Well, there's a lot of stuff like
collector?
that right now that like my Funko Pops and stuff that are released like during this time, they're astronomically more expensive.
Like which ones? Give
Like
us
the
an
ones
example.
that are like the like that just ones that have come out recently, like the ones for Black Widow, like they
Oh.
were already released.
Mm.
And now like I have like 4 Black Widow Pops and I have stuff that are like from scenes in the movie that people haven't seen yet.
Right.
Wow.
Like I don't know what this means.
Yeah.
So like I have it's like a Red Guardian and
Yeah.
he's like all bloody and he's holding a doll of the Red Guardian, like of himself.
Wow.
So I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, they market those so far in advance. Yeah, so I guess.
So like that one's worth like $60 right now.
wow.
It would only be normally like 15.
Funko Pops
So-
are crazy,
And
man.
they've stopped production of those.
Mm.
Like stuff that I've ordered like months ago. Like whenever they came out with those hero pops,
Yeah.
the mask, like the like hospital worker ones,
hmm
those aren't going to be released until like next year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the production in China their plants got completely shut down.
You need to start relying on China.
So
I think the biggest question is going to be like when everything finally catches up. So like when we've rid ourselves of this and like, everything's back to normal, then we have that catch up. And this is not just for movies. I mean, sports too. We've talked about that NBA season before, how they're going to have this season and then they're going to start the next one at the time they normally do. Dude, it's going to be a tiring process after a while. You might end up having 9-10 movies released within a 2-week.
Well, and that assumes that we don't get that second influx of COVID during the fall and the winter.
Right.
If that all happens, then what do we do?
COVID.
I still wonder how they can predict that ahead of time, though. Like,
Bro.
how can they look at something and go, well, it's going to happen again?
Because the election's coming.
did you see that Nickelodeon announced that SpongeBob was gay?
No.
What?
Yep.
Is he?
Sacrilege.
Doesn't he like Sally or something?
No.
No. He lives on a pineapple with a pink starfish.
Hey.
Now, if you would have told,
Starfish lives next door.
Wait, Nickelodeon actually came
2
out?
doors down.
Actually came out and said that he was gay?
Yeah, they put
That's
out
cool.
They put out like a thing announcing like Pride Month, and they put like actors that are like
So do you
gay and lesbian,
so, like, the
and then
person
they
that
put
plays him?
SpongeBob, like a picture of SpongeBob, like on there too.
Okay, so here's my thing.
Do you think he's been gay?
Do you
Or
think that they
like
do
the
that type
cream?
of shit just to try to be inclusive?
That's what I
and,
was saying.
like,
Do you think he's
get
been
money?
gay or they just changed it for
Because when J.K. Rowling did that with Dumbledore, nothing in the book says that.
Yeah.
And like, there's never been anything in SpongeBob to insinuate that. So
I don't know.
trying to hop on the train?
are they just trying to make money off of it? Because I don't think that that's right either. Give him a boyfriend then, if he's gay.
Patrick?
Patrick's not his boyfriend.
How do you
They've
know?
They've never been romantic.
if you would have told me Patrick was gay, I'd have been like, oh, yeah, well, everybody knows that. Hi, bird. Wait, no, that was Snuffleupagus. Sorry.
The thoughts and comments of Jesse Young
Chris
do not
Guzzler.
reflect the Made to Motivate podcast in any way.
I did want to bring up something with you guys, though. These guys were gushing about it all week, that PlayStation reveal.
Dude,
Bro,
I was going to bring it up.
Let's
All right.
talk.
Let's go.
All right. So these games,
stats are better.
whatever, they don't have nearly as many exclusive games. That Miles Morales Spider-Man game,
Dude,
I'd pay $100 for that.
Dude. Miles Morales.
do you think it's
Incredible. Have you played the Spider-Man game?
no? He has an Xbox.
I know, exactly.
Do you think it's a direct like
Xbox
sequel?
has Spider-Man.
It says Marvel
No, they don't.
Spider-Man and then Miles Morales, so I think that it's connected because he was in the first one.
I know,
It's about time.
and it's the same voice actor.
I think it's a sequel.
Hmm.
Why? Do you
I don't
not?
know. I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
Oh,
What about the design, guys? What do you think?
it's kind of weird. I mean, I like the black version,
Mhm.
the white with the black in the middle. People say that it looks like a router, and it definitely does. Like PlayStation 4 looked slick when
Yeah.
it came out.
I think it looks dope when it's laying sideways.
It looks okay when it's sideways, but I'm still
I
going to
think it
get the
looks
all
dope.
black one. The Spider-Man
They don't
one,
have an
though,
all black one.
Mm-mm.
Is that just a rumor? I see it all over the place.
It's probably
All
just
those
a
renders, are,
mock-up.
all those renders are
Yeah.
just
People made
like
them.
the Spider-Man one's not real.
Oh,
That's unfortunate.
I thought
That's
it was.
fanboy shit.
I was gonna say that's sick right there.
Does
man.
PlayStation do that like Xbox does? Do they do like those limited edition?
Mhm.
Like, yeah. So maybe they will do one.
Like they did a Destiny.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you can get skins for them.
Yeah.
What about the big reveals surprised you guys the most in terms of all of the conglomerate of information that they released? What surprised you the most?
I think the Miles Morales one was really surprising because it was the only one that I didn't know about.
Okay.
I was kind of disappointed they didn't show any GTA 6, and they're just
Yeah.
milking GTA 5.
I want Grand Theft Auto so bad.
Yeah.
Is it like the same structure of game, or are they trying to recreate themselves with the new games?
They've basically just said that if you already have GTA, you're going to get incentives moving into the PlayStation 5 version.
Mhm.
And I think you can get a discounted or maybe even free version of it, is what they said, if you already own it. But
Wow.
they're just trying. I mean, GTA 5 is a perfect game. It's huge and it's going to be remastered for it. But
Yeah, they said if you already have it, then you get 1 million in-game dollars every month until GTA 6
drops.
comes out.
yeah,
That's cool.
Was that pre-sale? Was that legit in terms of $700? The price tag was
They
that-
never announced a price.
yeah, that hasn't been
Okay.
announced officially yet. There have been rumors that are saying it's going to be around 500 now.
Mhm.
So I've seen stuff that said that it was selling for €599, which would be 700 for us.
That's what I. Yeah.
But there's rumors going around now also that it's going to be 500, but nothing is confirmed.
Is it going to be a terabyte version, or is it just
That I don't think has been
Yeah.
confirmed yet either. I'm sure there will be because they do that with every system so far.
Mhm.
But
The controller looks crazy.
controller looks amazing.
What's Ryan, and you're included in this? What game made you fall in love with video games to begin with. Like you said, that's the game that I'm in for life now.
That's tough, man.
I
grew up on the original Mario, like on Nintendo. That was my first game. Yeah, the very first game I ever played was Tekken 3 on the PlayStation.
Wow.
That's the first video game you ever played?
First game that I ever like had, because I didn't have any friends that could afford like games. So my uncle had a PlayStation. I played Tekken with him, and then I got Super Nintendo and a PlayStation.
And $200 was considered expensive then.
Right. Games were $20 each. But first game that I ever really fell in love with, though, that's tough.
Yeah, that's hard, man.
It was probably Spyro.
What was Spyro?
Spyro was a great game.
The dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Little purple dragon.
Yeah.
You had to save all the other ones.
I played it like once.
Yeah, I didn't get
Such a
into
good game. They've never remade that. Not like in a good version. They made a couple sequels, but
I think Mario's a classic. Donkey Kong, I was huge into.
Mario was huge for me.
Yeah, Mario
Yeah.
is there's never been like a
Super Mario World. I remember,
man.
like, I had a little bunk bed, and I had a little, like, tiny TV up on my dresser.
Yeah.
I would just sit on the edge of my bunk bed and just play Super
Yeah.
Mario World. I loved it.
it's crazy where games have come.
And that's like that was like my escape.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what games still are for me.
Yeah.
I think that's what's cool about games, especially now with how detailed everything is. It looks like you're basically playing movies now.
Dude,
Yeah,
The
it's
Last of Us
crazy.
2 looks insane.
The trailer I saw, it looked pretty badass.
I mean, everything there were a couple of games that they showed that just looked real. I mean, Gran Turismo, like, I'm not a big, racing game fan, but it looked like real fucking cars.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like you were just watching a race.
Yeah.
And they had other stuff too that was like, the animation was like cartoony or just like really original and didn't necessarily look eye-poppingly amazing,
Yeah.
but the type of animation was really cool. Like, I don't remember what the game was, but it was like this smoky, I'm assuming it was a girl, but it's not like a human. And she's just like running around. Her head looked like a flame and the rest of it was like smoke. It just looked really cool.
That and Deathloop.
Yeah, bro.
By Bethesda.
That looked so fun.
I went back and watched it again. It looked like a movie trailer.
Mm-hmm.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
And Hitman. I always loved the Hitman games.
Hitman looked probably the most realistic out of all of them. I was surprised we didn't get a Assassin's Creed trailer. Because we had already seen the
Valhalla?
one. You would have thought that they would have given us like an in-depth look at the gameplay or something.
Man.
You guys mentioned Resident Evil 8. Is there anything new with that?
It looks so dope.
Mm-hmm.
It's like in an old school village, like your classic, kind of like a Van Helsing type of setting, like wooden cottages and like gunpowder type of weapons and stuff like that. I didn't know it was Resident Evil until the very end. I was like, this just seems super familiar. It's so cool looking. Fucking werewolves and vampires and stuff all over the place. I'm buying it. Like, I'll probably, if it's $700, I'll probably drop close to $1,000 after another controller and all the games that come with it. Like, easily.
You have to be a hardcore fan now when you get one of these. I mean, just to drop that kind of coin. I know it doesn't seem like much now, but it is, man.
But you know what? People drop $1,000 for a fucking iPhone.
Yeah.
And I don't think that you get nearly as much out of that as you do
400
out of a game system.
Yeah.
I played my PlayStation for
That's crazy.
ever
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
like hours and hours and hours into it.
I spent like $500 on my PS4, I think.
Yeah.
And then like $100 on the external memory. I have 4 controllers, 25, 30 games.
Yep.
I don't remember the last time I bought like my Xbox. I don't remember. It's probably been 5 years easily since I bought it. Like, I remember when it was like get a new system every year.
Yeah.
I've had mine for a long time.
See, that's when I was a video game fan, and I was going to say the game, like, I played the first Mario, was my first game ever.
So good.
But the game that made me open my eyes to video game was the very original Legend of Zelda.
Oh,
yeah.
And just being introduced into Hyrule and that world and everything, like Nick said perfectly, it's escapism.
Yep.
And everything about the Zelda games I've always loved, and they've always reinvented themselves.
Yeah.
See, with me, mine, I think I played my Game Boy Color more than I played anything ever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And
Game
like
Boy was
whenever I
fun.
went through
Pokemon Yellow, that's
Pokemon
what
Yellow,
opened my eyes.
Yeah, that's the game that I fell in love with.
Mhm.
Like Super Mario was like my escape. I played at home, but I had the clear purple Game Boy Color with the magnify flip up
Yeah.
light that I could play at nighttime, and I would just play Pokemon for hours.
Yeah. There's some good Game Boy games. I got my Game Boy Color and Pokemon Yellow for Christmas when I was, I think, 7. And I played for 10 hours straight. And I remember exactly because my dad goes, you need to put that down. You've been playing that thing for 12 hours. And I pulled up the time because you could, go back and look at how many hours you logged. Yeah. I said, nope, 10 hours and 42 minutes.
And Game Boy Color was the last resort for that that console, I guess I could say, because Nintendo was about to give up on Game Boy altogether. Their first incarnation of Game Boy, that classic, yellow and dark, basically 2 colors is all you get.
Yeah.
It was failing bad, and they didn't know where they were going to take the console in the next generation, and they basically just brought out color, and it changed the whole landscape.
Yeah.
I had a Game Boy Advance too, Arctic White.
I never had the Game Boy Advance.
Neither did I. I had the original and then the color.
I remember I had Pokemon Pinball too for my Game Boy Color, and it came with a rumble pack.
The rumble pack.
And every
yes,
time you would hit
bro.
like the ends, it would like rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What all systems have you guys
You'd
had?
have to put a battery in the game itself.
Yeah, I remember
the game
that.
cartridge.
Yeah.
Oh wow, an additional battery,
Yeah.
as
Like
opposed.
clipped into the back.
Wow,
What did you say?
What systems have you guys had like in your entire life, start to finish?
Bro.
mine's gonna be short. So
Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Sega Dreamcast, PlayStation 2, I think was the last PlayStation, GameCube, Nintendo 64, Game Boy Color, Game Gear.
damn, yeah, Game Gear. Oh man, talk about a battery sucker.
Sega Saturn. And
Never
then
had Sega.
pretty much every Nintendo system following that, except for I never got into Wii. Or not, sorry, I did do Wii. I didn't do the Wii
Wii U?
handheld. Yeah, I didn't do that. I had Wii. I had Sony PSP. I still have that.
Damn.
I still have that somewhere around here. And then I got into all the Xboxes. I never got into the newer PlayStations. I'm pretty positive PlayStation 2 was the last PlayStation I ever owned. But then I had Xbox, original Xbox, the new one, One X, whatever.
Yeah. What's your favorite
A
one?
lot of systems, man.
Got to pick one.
That's a tough.
I mean,
question.
the newest Xbox, one system,
One
and like all the
system
games,
out of all the time. Yeah.
64 or 64 or NES.
Hydro
one of the two.
Thunder, baby.
It's hard to beat
GoldenEye.
64.
64 or NES were my 2 favorites.
GoldenEye, man.
What about you, Nick?
I had Super Nintendo, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. Then I went right into PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4. I never had a Dreamcast
Yeah,
or a 64.
No?
I always played everybody else's.
Dreamcast were for the rich
64.
people.
Never bought a 64 later on in life or anything?
No.
Man, that was so
Um,
good.
And then I have a Switch.
Yeah, Switch, yeah.
Chris?
It's not very long. Atari 7200. I inherited basically from when I was born. That was my sister's. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Game Boy, Sega Genesis, Game Gear, original PlayStation, and I think that's it. Because I stopped right around PlayStation. The only games I play now are is if like a Zelda one comes out. And of course, I play sports games.
I play games on my phone every day.
Yeah.
I don't play phone games very often.
I don't either. I used to, but I don't anymore.
What games do you play?
I play pool, poker, and then I play golf.
Crush.
Yeah, and Candy Crush.
Candy Crush is fun.
But again, I'm at home all day just sitting in front of a computer waiting for my phone to ring.
That's true.
Right.
So
Yeah.
What handhelds? Did you guys have any handhelds other than Game Boy? Did you ever have like the PSP or the Game Gear or anything like that?
Yeah, that was it.
Game
No.
Gear was dope.
What is that?
Bro. Game Gear was the Sega version. But it was so like Game Boy was like the tall thin.
Yeah.
And Game Gear was like a Switch. So it was color.
Side to side. Yeah.
It was so sick.
I don't think I've ever heard of
bro.
that.
I haven't either.
And it was like the graphics were great for a handheld
So
console. It blew Game Boy out of the water.
Yep.
But like the thing is everybody used to always complain about one, the storage on the games were weak,
Yeah.
and two, the battery. They used to suck the hell out of your batteries.
It was big too.
Mhm.
Game Gear was dope, man. That color screen was so nice.
Yeah.
I used to play Mortal Kombat on that all the time.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat was
MK2 was
dope.
great on that too. Sonic was really good, and it never lagged. Like
Yeah.
you always have the fast of Sonic, the speed,
Yep.
and it never lagged on that.
Did you guys ever get the original Wii?
Good.
You remember the hype that went
I had
behind
it.
that?
Mhm.
My friend got it. Yeah.
They would put like 10 of those in a store,
Mhm.
and it was just first come, first serve. And
They would
somehow
sell,
my
yeah.
mom got one.
Wow.
And that was like mind blowing to me. Now
Yeah.
it's like nobody gives a shit about a Wii.
And why,
Yeah, I
why do you
sold
think
it.
that is?
Why was it a big deal, or
Well-
why don't
well,
people care?
Why is it now a distant third in the video game wars?
That whole like interaction thing, I think, kind of. I don't
That
think people are
didn't-
as excited about
Yeah.
that. Like
Well,
they
there's
didn't
not-
take off like I think they expected.
And there's
that
not a
whole,
lot of
like-
games for the Wii.
Yeah, it was like a Nintendo's always been kind of that cartoonish, like amateur.
It's kids.
Yeah, it's really always been geared towards kids.
But it worked in the 80s and 90s. Why is it now falling a distant
I
third?
think the people that are playing them. Just,
I think the
don't know,
Switch is
man.
still successful. It's just that
Switch is dope.
motion that the Wii was doing, that
Mhm.
whole motion capture gaming.
Yep.
One, it didn't work very well. It worked partially, but you had problems.
Yep.
And then they never were able to perfect it.
Mhm.
And that's why virtual reality doesn't really pick up amazingly, even with PlayStation or anything else. But like once it ran its course, it ran its course. It was like a fad.
Did Sony do like Xbox did with the Kinect? Did Sony have something like that?
Sony has VR.
Do
Yeah.
they?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's really good.
so like
They had
this-
PlayStation. It was like PlayStation Move, or it was something that
They had
went with their camera.
They had a
also.
remote, didn't they? And like it was like a bubble on the end of it, like a red
Yes.
ball or something, like right there.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I cannot think of what
Oh,
that
I do
was.
remember that. Yeah,
It wasn't PlayStation Move, but it was something like that, and it did terrible.
The Xbox version, the Kinect, I had it and it worked good. Like it was cool. I just don't think that like entertainment, like
Well, the problem is with Nintendo.
Bored
like
fast.
yeah, like that's like you go to an arcade and do it like occasionally.
I used
Yeah.
to play golf on somebody's Kinect,
Yeah,
and I remember it was terrible. He was beating my ass, and I had my golfer set as a left-handed golfer,
oh jeez.
so the camera never picked up my swing rank. So it was looking for
Oh.
left-handed.
Yeah,
So stuff like that.
Yep.
It's just really hard to like.
Nintendo just doesn't have a lot of like really well fleshed out games. Like
Yeah.
they have like that new Zelda, which is incredible.
It's the same.
And they've got like
characters.
Mario Odyssey,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and those are great stories and open world, but you don't get like you get that in Spider-Man, Fallout, Arkham Knight, like
yeah.
all of these games on PlayStation, Gears of War, Halo, like all these great stories on Xbox. You got a very limited selection of amazing games
Yeah.
on Switch.
And that's
They always
what-
geared it towards that younger generation. Like it's
Fortnite.
yeah. I mean, it's
Right.
fun. Like I enjoy my Switch. Like for those classics though that Nintendo's known for.
Mm-hmm.
Like I still play Mario.
Mhm.
I play like Mario Kart. Like you still play that same series of games.
It's the same characters, and that's what I was
Yeah.
going to say to add to Jesse's point.
Yep.
Is that so? Here in Nintendo, here's my theory: you have a company that's kind of stuck in the past. They're
Yeah.
writing what's safe. They're writing the Zeldas, the Mario's, the whatever else that's a Nintendo property,
Yep.
and they're also not adapting to their audience too. So what I mean by that is, you look at a company like PlayStation, how they take movies like Spider-Man or something like that. You won't see a movie property on Nintendo anymore. You used to in the 80s with the 8-bit
Yeah.
console.
Yeah.
They were shitty for the most part. So I think that plays a lot into it too. Like it seems like PlayStation and Xbox prepare for the real world. Like they know their audience. Nintendo is kind of stuck in the past.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree with that.
absolutely.
And I think that they think that, they'll survive just off of those properties because nobody else can get them. And you're
Yeah.
never not going to have people that don't buy, the Mario Karts and the Mario Parties and
Mhm.
stuff. But you could go deeper. Like you could have a Metroid that is
Oh,
a
Metroid is so
terrifying
dope.
type
Oh.
of Resident Evil feel,
Mhm.
scary, well fleshed out. Call of Duty has great operation as far as like using the weapons and just like how easy it is to play.
Mhm.
You could do that with Metroid.
Yeah,
God,
Metroid
Metroid
was so fun, man.
Baddest woman in a video game.
There's
man.
no mature games in Nintendo.
Mhm.
Few and far between.
That's all I got.
I think that'd be dope.
Mhm.
I don't know. There's not a lot of kids games in the same breath though on Xbox and PlayStation. Those are adult consoles.
That's what I think too. But you look at it like, I think those adults like yourselves are the ones that are carrying it over. So like they grew up on, all that stuff. It's not so much the kids these days that are playing it. It's the adults that,
Yeah.
handed those down from console to console.
Yeah.
Yep, good old video games. I remember getting that Super Nintendo like for Christmas. It was
Yes.
the greatest thing ever. man.
1991.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So good. The original Nintendo will still always be a classic. Like I still play those games. I don't know. Video games are just fun.
One last thing. You asked him, what's your favorite console and Nick's favorite console?
I think that my PlayStation 2 is hard to beat. There were a lot of really great games on PlayStation 2. That's when Grand Theft Auto really started taking off. Madden really started taking off. Tony Hawk was on N64, so I won't
Tony
give that to
Hawk.
PlayStation, but they had some good ones on there. The shooters and everything, Call of Duty, like PlayStation 2 is probably the best for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I'd have to agree.
PS2.
Because without PS2, you don't have Xbox and you don't have that next level gaming, I don't think.
Do you guys remember what that game was? It was PlayStation 2, and it was, to your guys' point of being one of your favorites, why I loved that. Where you used to be like the military, and you would build like bases, and you would build army men and like vehicles, and then you would like go to war with the other team.
No.
You know what that's called?
God.
You know what I'm talking about?
You weren't like the Green Army men, were you?
no,
Like
no.
you were actually like a war game?
It was like weird though, because it was like
a sim style.
it was like a sim style where you would like build the military bases, and you would build the tanks, and you actually have to
Oh.
build different kind of army men.
I never played that, but that sounds dope.
Dude, it was so dope.
Buddy had
And then
it.
there was like a good team and a bad team, and you could pick what side you wanted to be. Then you had to go to war with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that game was
I remember-
so dope.
I remember whenever I got
Fuck, what was that
SOCOM
called?
for the first time,
SOCOM's
and
amazing.
it came with the headset, and it was the first game that you could actually talk into the mic, and it would do what like you say.
Yeah.
Yes,
It blew
bro.
my mind.
I know. Isn't that like a changing of the game? Like it just seems like a
I
big
felt like
step.
that was the first time I ever felt like I was transported
Yeah.
into a different like world.
Mm-hmm.
New SOCOM's supposed to be on PlayStation 5. I was waiting for that announcement, and they didn't do that either.
Whenever you mentioned Tony Hawk, I forgot about that for some reason.
So that's coming back completely remastered.
Mhm.
The original game,
I
love
same
that game.
soundtrack and
I
everything.
lost so many hours to Tony Hawk.
I know, and that soundtrack, dude, it's so nostalgic, man. It's
Yeah.
That's the one game I got blisters on my fingers playing.
Oh, blisters on my fingers.
those grinds, man. You try to
Yeah.
get those points
Those
every time.
hold- tap and circle.
Got to get the
Triangle to
VHS tapes
grind.
and everything.
Command and Conquer. That's it, right? Command
Yes,
and Conquer.
yeah, it is. It.
I don't know that.
Gotta look that up, man.
My buddy had it, and he played. Dude, he
Uh.
would seriously stay up all night and play that
Me
game.
too.
And I'm like, dude, go to bed.
Command and Conquer. You guys gotta look that up.
I bet if we go back, we play SOCOM now, it would be awful.
Oh, it
Yeah.
looks like shit.
Guaranteed.
None of those games live up.
Was that
But-
was that the first time you talked to people too, like live with the headset?
Yeah, they had online gaming. You could talk with your team.
God, what
Man.
what a changer, man.
Playing online changed the game for sure.
And SOCOM's great
So
too
much
because
more fun.
it's not like Call of Duty where you're just running and gunning and then whatever. Like
Mhm.
you have to be strategic. You've got to let Chris. You got to go open this door so that I can come in the other side and get these guys off guard. And it's all team based, like
Mhm.
real tactical military fighting.
That's awesome.
Good old video games. One day I'll get good enough to play with Jesse.
You can play tonight.
Until then, I'll just play by myself.
I don't even try to bark up that tree at all. It's not going to happen.
Dude, it's fun, man. I'm not great, but it's just so fun to get on there and play. Cool. Anything else for Hollywood Report? What else is going on in the world?
Unless Nick had
Any
something.
new music?
No, still waiting on that Kanye album.
Did you
Yeah.
see the video going around on like Warlock or whatever? Those dudes, that new rap group?
Uh-uh.
No.
Oh my god, you guys gotta look
Warlock.
it up.
What?
Not good.
You gotta look it up, bro.
I'm looking it up right now.
Hold on. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
Where are
It's
they
a
from?
group called
Who
Warlock.
shared it?
Warlock.
Where are they from?
Bro, I
Dude,
don't know.
They're
They
from
look like-
Akron
They look
or
like from
something.
like the,
He's just fucking with us.
no, they look like they're from like the backwoods somewhere.
Oh God.
I got video game stuff that came up.
Bro, I'm not gonna be able to find it because I can't remember who shared the video, but it was unreal.
Warlocks. Yeah, Warlocks.
You find it?
Hip hop trio. A Norwegian hip hop trio formed in 1992.
No, that's not it.
Oh, I was gonna say, what the fuck?
No, that's not it.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Viking rappers?
Hold on, I think I found it. I think I remember the guy that shared it. It was Mark. Yep, here it is.
Is it legit?
They're called Warrocks. Waraqs. Hold on, bro. You gotta hear this.
This is going to be really bad.
This Vanilla Ice looking
Mature content. Viewer discretion advised.
Back in this bitch and we going to war, baby. Let's go to war. Let's go. We the best group that came out since Wu-Tang. And y'all already know we getting the most Wu-Tang. Y'all want to hate? Well, then fuck you, man. Take your boo. What the fuck you gonna do, man?
Bars.
Absolutely nada. White boy, but bitches call me Papa. Y'all like Snitch 9 the way y'all talking to them coppers. War rack out here, and we really do got them choppers. See, clout's like a drug. for you much. Once y'all got it, you chase it.
The birds really bring it together.
This, but look, we already made it. Now fuck that. We going after the snitch who be writing statements. See your opinions?
I love how they're reading it off their phone.
How y'all not support
Oh, are they?
Iraq, but support a Warak. If I ever see that man, he knows he getting slapped. Shout out to Treyway. Warak got y'all bags. Tell you see, Snitch 9, he was put back up on layaway. Warak about to bring back Treyway. The world don't got enough room.
The guy's cleaning up the park, and he's like, "Can you guys go home now?"
Bro, it's so
Where are they
bad.
from? Those are my students.
Like, the funniest part is they like did a video. Dude, hold on, let me fast
Are
forward.
they at Metro Park?
Yeah, hold on. Wait till the very end.
Can you guys go home?
Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Watch this. Watch this. Hold on. Watch this very end.
No murder. And shout out to Shotty. Devin, come out and finish this rap. He moves too sloppy.
Why'd he get out of the trunk?
Yeah, 6'9". What you gonna do, bitch?
Oh, he just hopped out and started flowing?
On a stick. Bring it back to the shot. Just for some kicks. The pressure we apply is like a bunch of canines.
He was still gasping for air.
Fucking DMX over here. Did you see him try and fall out of the trunk?
Yeah.
Dude, it's so funny.
Where are they from?
That's not legit. Bro, they're for real.
Yeah, they're talking about gang shit.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island?
Rhode Island.
Rough
bro.
streets out there, man.
Dude, look at
How
this.
many followers do they got on their SoundCloud?
I don't know. I didn't find him on SoundCloud.
Come on.
Bro, that shit's so
We should start a rap group.
funny. When the dude comes out of the trunk,
We could call them out.
bro, there's another
Let's start
video.
a beef.
There's another video where that same dude comes out from like under a deck and he like trips and falls.
Yeah, we could have. I could come out of random shit and just start rapping.
Bro.
I can write some stuff.
I can't.
I mean, if they're reading off their
If they can read it, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's not freestyle. It's just,
Look him up on YouTube. I want to know how many followers he has.
Oh
Young
my
Malibu. YUNG.
No, it's not. Young Malibu?
Yeah.
They're trolling.
Young Malibu.
Don't be hating.
Bro, I was dying when I seen it get shared today. I was like, what is happening? Oh my God.
and still better than Drake.
That's it. That's
Come
it.
on now, don't hate on Drake.
Drake was dead when Common said he was Canada Dry.
Wow.
Drake's fire.
I loved his
Goodness.
first two albums, but just can't get in them now.
Let's I think that's it for Hollywood Report.
Champagne Poppy.
We can talk about sports. Isn't Drake a big sports guy?
Sure. Let's talk
Doesn't
about
he
sports.
own some sports team or something? Jesse, you got anything for sports?
Look at him.
We'll see.
Warog.
45-40. Run, 20, 50. Iguodala to Curry. Back to Iguodala. Up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James.
LeBron James. Hey, speaking of LeBron
No
James.
regard for human life,
What about Bronny James?
bro.
How's
Dude,
my
that-
dude doing?
That shit was funny as fuck. That was fucked up, but it was funny.
I got a couple things if you need it, so just let me know.
Go for it.
Hey.
Lead it off. I'll talk on the points, but
You won't like the first point.
let's hear it.
MLB players reject the latest offer. Ask league to set 2020 season schedule.
Yeah, they rolled out another one, like 70-game series, I think.
Yeah, the players keep disagreeing with it. Now it's up to 50% of their pay that they were going to make, but even that's not good enough for them. So they're going to turn it down. I don't blame them.
I mean, if your boss asks you to work 5 days a week, but
Yep.
said you're only going to get paid for 4,
But aren't they playing half the season for 50%? So that's half as half.
no, it's not.
And that's even worse
Half is
for us
half.
for what we make. Like, we definitely wouldn't do that.
No, you still want to get paid your full salary.
How
if you're
long is the
gonna pay
normal
for half.
season?
162.
Okay, so 70 is less than half.
Yeah, but why would you get paid half your salary though?
If you only have to do half the work. If I only had to go to work 3 days a week, I would take half the salary then.
But they had already made a pre-existing agreement
What's that?
prior to
Batman?
this.
So, like, if you only work like 3 days a week,
I saw that.
you'd be okay with working or getting paid like $8 an hour.
I would take half my pay if I'm only working half the time.
But what if you had a pre-existing contract that said
That doesn't
that
make
you
any
were
sense
going to
me.
be getting paid full price? Like, it's a salary position. It's not a hourly position. If something happens that leads to you not being able to work, that's their prerogative, not yours.
I mean, they could just fire you.
Not if you're a union position.
Like a lot of places right now, like you're getting laid off.
Players union, man, they ain't laying off all them players.
This dude.
I don't think there's going to be a baseball season this
Neither
year.
do I.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
But
I think football's coming, but I don't think baseball is.
I'm
football
not
is
100%
coming.
sure about football either, man.
Baker said he's going to be down on his knees this season.
Yeah, that's what else we were going to talk about.
Yeah, man.
What, I mean, there's a lot of people that are coming out and saying that they're going to let their people kneel. Players are going to kneel. Coaches are going to kneel.
I think it's going to be the reverse this year. Like, if you don't kneel, it'll be a problem.
I think so, too.
Isn't that interesting? Isn't that crazy what a year changes? Like Jerry Jones, our owner, our idiot owner, might I add, tells everybody that they're going to be forced to, stand for the Pledge of Allegiance or whatever the hell, the national anthem.
Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the
this
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Isn't it amazing that you both know that after that long?
So sad.
I had to say it every day.
Nationalism.
Like North
man.
Korea.
Exactly.
So, yeah, he would make his players stand, and
he can't do that, though.
yeah, and that's what I always wondered too. Especially some of the players we drafted, like CD Lamb has been known to kneel during college too. So I'm curious to know where that's going to go.
People don't realize the national anthem has not always been a part of like football. Like they've always done it before the games, but the players used to be in the locker rooms. It wasn't until like 1997 or something like that where the NFL made a deal with the military to do it as a way of like promoting them. This isn't some patriotic thing. It's a business decision, and it's new.
And this is a hot take, but you can't force patriotism on someone.
No, you can't. That's
Like,
nationalism.
It's the same thing as, the Nazi march and stuff like that. It's the same fucking thing. It's exactly that.
Yeah, no, you cannot tell me what to do when I am not practicing or playing. Everything else is their free time. That is the only time that they are getting paid. They can do things to screw themselves up, but you can't make them do things.
I really kind of wish the Olympics would have still happened. Could you imagine?
Dude, it would have been wild.
I just,
Be a nightmare right now, man.
When was that supposed to be? Was that next month?
I think it was this month, like June.
This month? God,
Yeah,
there's no
but
way.
I totally forgot about the
Because could you imagine like just protesting in the middle of a relay race?
Yeah.
Just laying down in the middle of how would a prolific, like that would just be nuts.
Yeah, that would have been insane.
Yeah,
I think
there would have been hijacking and for
and
sure.
There's a lot of stuff coming out about Colin Kaepernick now too. Like
Yeah, funny how that turned around.
yeah, like Pete Carroll came out and said that he regretted not hiring him and that they're taking another look. He'll get hired somewhere.
They should do
As
like
a backup?
They should give him back pay or something.
How did Roger Goodell apologize? Like that to me is still, I just don't buy it. You can show me 100 news sources. I'm like, there's no way he apologized.
Pressure of the people, man. And there's so many people saying now, like, well, I won't watch.
Bet.
There are going to be so many people watching this year just because of the
so many
people that never watched before.
Let's talk about
will
NASCAR
watch.
too.
Yeah.
Bubba, NASCAR was huge.
Yeah.
That is a redneck sport.
Tell us what's going down.
The Dukes of Hazzard guy's painting over his car.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
a
no
big
shit.
deal. He's painting over the Confederate flag.
And then
It's a big deal, man.
somebody like a big person who does like custom helmet painting did a tweet how it looked that car looked like trash now that had Black Lives Matter on it.
Yeah.
And every single NASCAR person that had them dropped them.
Oh,
That's the thing is there's been movement in sports,
Yeah,
in
man.
business, and everything. It's like you said, if you don't kneel, you're gonna get shit.
Yeah.
Somebody came out and players are bashing people too. They don't give a shit
You
about
see
the
J.J.
fans right
Watt
now. I
came
was
out?
just gonna say
That's crazy.
somebody came out and said, I bet you anything J.J. Watt doesn't kneel for that anthem. And he came out and said, first off, don't speak for me. And secondly, if you still think this is about the flag or the military, you haven't been listening.
And he's like a Trumper.
And I think he's got military family.
Yeah.
Damn. What happened with Baker? You said Baker was getting ripped apart.
Baker said that he's going to be kneeling also.
Oh, was it because of that? I know
Same
he was wearing
type
that
of
Black
deal.
Lives Matter shirt.
Yeah, he wore his Black Lives Matter shirt, but then somebody also said like,
Hey, man.
please tell me that you're not going to be kneeling or something like that. And he said, of course we are. Like, absolutely. Like, I don't know why you would think.
So
that
is the plan they're going to kneel every game?
I think that every single player, for the most part, will be kneeling during the anthem.
Cool.
No.
You know, the one that I'm interested to see though is, and this isn't even a Steelers dig. This is just genuine, curiosity. But that Villanueva guy, the one guy who, when the team went and knelt, stayed in the locker room.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll go out and kneel because he either is military or has military family. I believe. I think he's former military. But I wonder if he'll go out and join them.
I was telling a Browns fan this week at work, I said, you want to know the biggest difference between Freddie Kitchens and Kevin Stefanski? He goes, what's that? I said, look at Baker Mayfield's shape right now.
Bro,
That's the
looks
biggest
good.
difference.
He got ripped up, man.
Yeah.
He's back in shape.
All it takes is a little bit of time.
He's been laying off the cheesecake.
So if you go to an NFL game this year,
cheesecake. I forgot about the Cheesecake Factory.
if you go to a game this year, are you going to sit during the anthem while the players kneel, or do you stand?
Ooh, that's tough.
I don't stand for the national anthem whenever I'm at home.
That's tough. At the game, if I have a hat on,
If-
I always stand face the flag and take my hat off.
Me
I do too, usually.
I always
Yeah,
do.
I mean, I'm guilty of it 100%.
That's different because I don't think we can kneel. So I think, like, I don't know if sitting's the same thing. Like, we can't kneel down in the seats. That's tough. It's a
The
good
only thing you
question,
can
but that's
really do
tough.
is face the other way.
Yeah, but then is
Could do
that
that.
a sign? I don't know. That's tough.
I'm
That's a
going.
good point. That's a really good
That's
point.
a really good question.
I'm going to Cowboys and Bengals. I'll let you know that.
Does that cause turmoil in the stands?
We
do
should
you
make
think?
a poll.
Yeah, man.
Let us know what
Yeah.
you guys think.
Yeah, we'll put it on the page.
That is a good question.
Yeah,
Damn.
Jesse, that is a good one. Because I don't know if sitting has the same,
Because
sense the same thing as like,
Because if you really want to send a message, you should just
yeah, man.
my
turn
thing
around.
is I've
That's a
got,
really good point.
if you're doing it for Black Lives Matter and you're not doing it to disrespect the flag, then I don't think it matters what it looks like. I think it matters what it signifies to you.
Absolutely.
But in the same breath, it does kind of feel a little disrespectful whenever it's something that you have
Yeah.
always stood for other reasons. I've got, family and friends that are in the military. My buddy Cody's deployed right now.
Yeah.
I've always stood for those people,
I don't think that makes you a bad person, though.
But
if
it's
you do
also,
stand.
I'm not sitting for those people either. So
Mhm.
I don't think that it's
Well,
necessarily
what do we-
disrespectful.
Dude, we need to, as the podcast, drum up something that all the fans do. Like
That would be
that we
dope.
like kneel in your seat or something, or like face the other direction, and everyone does it.
Because if you get on national TV and 64,000 people in Cleveland Browns
Yeah.
Stadium are turning away from the flag
Because if you
or
just
sitting,
if you just
Yeah.
stand, then they're kneeling. But I think it'd be if the whole stadium was in solidarity, all doing something.
Maybe you get that this year, though.
That'd be. But what do the fans do? To Jesse's point,
this
it's a great
country-
question.
This country has been more unified in this movement than I have ever seen in another movement.
I think a back turn. I think everyone just turns,
Yeah.
just faces
like they do in
just turns-
college.
just turns in their seat.
Remember whenever we used to play Kent State and they had
Yeah.
a different thing for every single person?
Yep.
We used to hold up
man.
like newspapers and stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just do the same thing.
Yeah,
All they would do
man.
for that.
I think the best thing that they could do, honestly, is just get rid of it. To be frankly honest, I think that this for the I'm
You want to talk about controversy?
Yeah, but
if the NFL gets rid of the anthem before the games, you're going to get major.
All
I'm not
sports.
saying that I disagree.
no, but give me a reason. Why is it in there in the first place? Like, give me the reason.
There is no reason. Same reason why there's no reason that we have the Pledge of Allegiance in our schools,
Yeah.
which we don't anymore.
You
But
said the football thing was recent, but what about like baseball does it too?
Baseball.
no.
Did they always do it?
When I say recent, I don't mean that the national anthem is always played before major events,
Yeah.
but players standing on the field was recent.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So the anthem always played. It was just the
Gotcha.
fans out there with the flag.
Understand?
Yeah, baseball does it. Basketball does it.
Yeah, like
Hockey does
all
it.
sports, every sport
And
plays
they're
national.
all going to be kneeling.
Yeah,
I mean, baseball won't, but
the last 3 sporting events I
NASCAR.
went to were Akron games, were the Rubber Ducks, and so I stood at each one of those. That's a good question. Thinking about it now, I'm like, yeah, I got a game coming in December. I'm like, I don't think I'll stand, dude. I mean, to be honest,
Turn your back.
yeah, it is what it is.
Turning your back is a much more political statement, I feel like.
I do
Because
too.
you're literally turning your back on the
flag.
flag.
Mhm.
Yep. That's gonna cause.
So I feel like you have to really identify with yourself. What was the reason you were standing in the first place? Was it for military reasons, or was it because
the freedoms that
the
we have
freedoms,
that the flag
and
represents.
if they're not really representing
Yep.
what you want it to represent, then why would you?
When I stand for the flag, I think it's a combination of both.
Me too,
Respect to the military.
You can do that, yeah.
And that fought for our freedom.
for sure.
But ultimately, the flag is supposed to signify the freedoms that we have as American citizens.
And they're being challenged.
And if they're
right now.
not, I mean, if not all Americans are being able to, benefit from them, then I think you're turning your back on that.
Mhm.
That's the thing is that I think that a lot of people look at the flag and look at America as this blind idea of freedom, even though the rest of the world is free, but we don't
Yeah.
think about that. We just
Mhm.
think of people think that America is like one of the only free places in America in the
It's not
world.
true, yeah.
Right? Most of the world is free.
Yeah.
But like when I look at it, I think about our specific rights. Your freedom of speech, your freedom to bear arms,
Yeah.
the Constitution, Bill of Rights, all that stuff.
Press.
I think specifically on those things. And it's like Nick said, those things are being challenged. When I see protesters getting gassed when they aren't doing anything, I got a big problem with that. And, you know, we don't shy away from bashing Trump and stuff, but if he gets elected in November and I'm at a game in December, I don't know if I could stand for that. I mean, we're in a very teetering position in this country right now because you've never had this level of involvement from media, sports, music, social media. Everybody is talking about it. Everybody is out there. We talked about how there was a downtown protest today. What are we, 2 weeks past?
This is the
2.5 weeks
the
past?
third week in a row. I haven't been able to go downtown.
Several of them are going. There were several today.
It ain't going anywhere.
That's good though, because we talked about that at the very beginning.
I want to be inconvenienced.
It can't be just one. This needs to continue to happen.
We talked about that like on one of our very first shows. That once we start talking about something, it dies off, and what are we on to the next thing?
We've
not happening.
We've been lacking content because it's the same story every week. We don't have anything new to talk about.
And it's not even just George Floyd anymore.
No.
Every single injustice that happens in the meantime, Breonna Taylor has a huge following now. There was a protest for some kid in Akron. I didn't even know his name, didn't know his story, didn't know anything. I just saw the signs. I'm like, who the hell is that? I Googled it when I got home and went, oh, okay, just some local Akron guy that people are rallying for nationwide, happening everywhere. I think it's not going away.
I wanted to go back to that point you made about the NFL and how, you know, everything for the first time ever, it seems like, you know, unison and all that. What's interesting about it is, like, you know, this was here a year ago, like Kaepernick was telling us about, or 2 years ago, whenever. He's always been telling us about it. And I think now what's the important thing is that accountability is held in that. So like you're having Goodell say like we were wrong. And, you know, Pete Carroll saying like, yeah, you know, we could have given him a job. And he's like, it's accountability. Everybody's guilty of it. You know, when this one man was taking a knee and then it turned into 3 guys and 5 and so on, everybody was shunning him. But now he seems like the catalyst for the change that is coming.
I do wonder, like, what do you think made this one different? You think it was just the graphicness of this video?
I think just the blatant obviousness of him not being
a threat,
resisting, not being a threat, the way that they just watched him die, just being forefront and right there on top of everything else going on.
I think
it's different.
Also has a lot to do with we've been stuck in our fucking house for a
Mm.
long time.
That's a very good under-examined point too. Like,
And-
I think he's right.
And our senses are heightened, and people are ready to just blow at anything. And people have probably been pissed off about this for a while.
The perfect powder keg building and building. Yeah. Wow, that is a great point.
I think that really has, like, subconsciously has a lot to do with how we react to trauma or how we react to other, like, things in our lives that we see. And it may have just been a big trigger point for a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, when you're stuck indoors, like Nick said, like there's not a lot to do. So granted, every eye is on this story right now. And it is bar none the most important story. It overtook Corona, dude. It overtook a pandemic. That by itself is huge. So yeah, I think Nick saying that's a huge point that he just made for
Did you guys
sure.
see the German rally for
biggest
like
one outside the U.S.
Against racism?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the picture of that?
Yeah.
Did you see the L.A. one?
It looks like it was photoshopped.
Yeah, it does.
It looks like the
That was
Queen
huge.
concert from Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bro, the one of L.A., the one they had in L.A., I had a friend that
With the
lives there with the drone. Bro,
With the signs that are like float, like
it is just the entire, for just miles. It is literally just thousands and thousands of people, shoulder to shoulder. Like it looked like Cleveland for the championship.
Yeah.
But the entire Los Angeles.
And LA is like,
it's insane, man.
You got to think it's a big hotbed for like minorities. It's a big hotbed for, you know, progressives, I guess. You know, everybody who's wanting this kind of change. I mean, it happened in Los Angeles in 1992 already. So for them, there's no problem standing.
See if I can find the picture. It was incredible to look at, though. There's been some really good rallies, though, and to everyone's point, like, it's not going away. It's continuing. And hopefully it continues and something comes from it.
Well, and like, you know, they're already talking about this defunding the police and all that. Like Minnesota is definitely happening. They're talking about it in a couple other cities, too, I heard. I thought Los Angeles was one of them.
I think we should talk about the defunding the police. Let's get into Let's Get Social, because I think there's a kind of a misconception on what defunding the police necessarily means.
I have a question for that one, too, that segment, anyway.
It is July 20th, 1969, and man is about to land on the moon.
Freedom itself was attacked this morning by a faceless coward, and freedom will be defended.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
That's the way the news goes. It's the news. Defunding the police. So everyone's calling for that. What does defunding the police actually mean to you guys? What do you think that message is?
I think that means reallocating funds that are used for either over-militarization of the police or certain programs and allocating them to other programs like learning, training, just other ways. Like I saw pictures of like LAPD with their Lamborghinis, and their
Inner-city
Teslas.
programs.
Yeah, and just reallocating funds like that into inner city programs. And
Wait,
stuff
you
like
mean
that.
it doesn't mean shutting the police departments down all together and having no police?
I don't believe so.
No, but once again, there's a misconception. Just the same as kneeling during the flag. It's their own narrative, and they'll fit it however they want.
That's why it should be called something else.
But defunding doesn't. I mean, to your point, it's exactly what it is.
I saw a tweet. It was like whenever people said defund Planned Parenthood, nobody had a problem figuring out what that meant.
Right.
It's defunding the police does not mean that the police department is to no longer exist.
You mean you're not taking it away? You're just banning like abortions and stuff and things they do?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well.
Oh well. Okay.
It's just it's re-looking at what their budgets are, where the money is going.
Yes.
And things like we talked about last week with like schools and stuff cutting them off. Like it's just stopping funding for certain things to them. Hit them where it hurts until they're willing to reform. Allocate the money elsewhere.
Right. Yeah. And people are saying that they can't be held to a higher standard if they're not funded properly. Well, look at teachers.
What?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the education system.
Say it again. I don't get to haul off and punch a kid.
I don't understand what that means. What's the rationale behind that?
It's just people have those like awful arguments because they don't understand what it means.
We can't hold them to a higher standard because we're not going to let them drive around in Lamborghinis.
You can hold them to a higher standard always. They're the police.
That's
They're
your
the
job.
law enforcement. Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like police have to do so many things, and this is just trying to lighten that load and make sure that they prioritize in the right areas. I don't think that that's a bad thing.
Right.
I saw a really good argument about how there needs to be more funding and more engagement in learning around the actual traffic stops and how those are started, because that's where the most interactions between police and people start.
Yep.
So it was like a big thread on Twitter about how they need to just reevaluate that whole program and how you go about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It was really interesting because I never thought about it that way.
Well, that's why like a lot of places went to even around here where any traffic stop requires 2 officers.
Mm-hmm.
Like they should. So there's not that. So both parties don't feel such a threat that they're so like ready to just fire.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, like you've got backup, you've got somebody else with you there. Like you can approach the vehicles differently, make both parties feel safe. So it's a great place to start. Like have extra training, like implement things that are going to allow both the citizens and the cops to not feel like they're in a place of harm or threat. Yeah, the defund the police thing, and people are just that's the next all lives matter thing right now. Like everyone's losing their shit over it.
Yeah,
it's just buzzwords. I mean, people see shit like that and they're like, well, why? And then they don't even think to look past the headline.
Yeah,
they just automatically think that we just want to run everything ourselves and that there won't be any police. Well, you're fucking stupid. Nobody wants that.
And like the amount of police officers and like people you see coming out being angry and like scared that they're good.
Right.
Because you should be challenged.
Mm-hmm.
Them having that reaction tells me that there's problems in their system that they know are about to be coming to light.
Yeah. Here's a question for you, and I wanted to put it on Facebook, but I didn't. I really just wasn't in the mood to have the conversation on Facebook.
Right, dude. I'm over it.
Yeah. So they're canceling like cops and live PD and all that stuff. Yeah.
Also another misconception.
But cops and live PD is for real.
Yeah.
I know Paw
people are tripping over Paw Patrol.
But people think Paw Patrol's legit.
Taking my guns.
So here's
Elmer Fudd.
Here's my thought on like the canceling of these. They're even talking about like SVU, like Law and Order. Rather than cancel it, why not continue the show and utilize the platform to approach the issue at hand and take it in a direction of there is an issue and show it from the other side and figure out utilizing it for that rather than just turn it off.
You know what the funny, just a quick point. You know what the funny thing is with so many people in an uproar about cops? Nobody watches it anymore.
I didn't even know it's still on.
Yeah.
Nobody knew it was on, and nobody cared until this was brought up. Go ahead, Jesse.
I do think that that's a good idea to approach it in a more positive light and try to show, maybe how the reform is happening from the inside.
Yep.
But also, cops was always
bad boys.
What you gonna do when they come for you? Tackling people.
For sure.
The worst of the worst.
But I'm saying, like, reformat the show, though. Say,
no
like, address that there was an issue and show what changes they're going to look to make and still have that show.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know how you watch. I don't know how your ratings are going to be able to carry a show if it doesn't have that type of stuff.
Running and gunning people down.
But I do think that, like, SVU shows like that, like actual just TV shows, can approach that in a better light. Because, like, like, I know that Steph and I watch Grey's Anatomy. That does that type of stuff all the time. It approaches whatever social commentary is going on.
Chicago PD.
Yeah, and you can do it from that way where it's still entertaining. There's still something going on, but it's not all, cowboy Midwest, bang up, shoot up bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a good point, though. They already have a platform. Why waste it?
Yeah.
And whether maybe it's a different show and not specifically cops, but I just thought it was interesting that they're just canceling all these shows. Like,
and that goes back to
that
whole cancel culture.
like last week. Like, everything is just like,
that needs to go.
Shut everything down, man. Starbucks was the latest one, which at that point, like,
they rebounded though,
but they didn't rebound. Apparently, they actually already had something in plan, and an independent employee leaked that they weren't allowing them to, but they already had a corporate agenda that they were going to have shirts coming out prior to that story.
Yeah.
It was, we don't want you wearing like your own stuff. We already have stuff we're going to supply you with.
I almost wish they would have said that in the initial briefing. Like, I almost wish they would have just said, we're not allowing them to wear Black Lives Matter stuff because we're coming out with our own stuff.
That's why I thought it was weird, because they're always pretty
the forefront.
Yeah. They're always, social commentary.
I think
first.
people just want it goes back to that cancel culture thing. They wanted it to just get,
It was one employee that apparently, because I have lots of friends that work within Starbucks, and they shared some stuff that it was like an employee that is like, it was off the path stuff that they were trying to like wear and stuff. It was not your traditional promoting of Black Lives Matter. Like, it was a kind of like a rogue type thing. And they weren't against that. They weren't against the Black Lives Matter thing, but this person took it as to get the clout and stuff. Oh, Starbucks is against this. And they had already had something that was sent out to employees prior to that. But now it looks like they're just backtracking to be a part of it.
And it sucks because they're huge with LGBTQ stuff. They let their employees wear. But as a company, you can't just let your employees wear anything they want.
Right.
You have to have some type of regulation.
Right. And they've always been at the forefront. They've always been supportive. I'm almost 100% positive they would have had something already coming.
Me too.
Prior to this getting leaked and turning into this giant thing. And now everyone's like, no, they're done. We're not going there anymore.
Well, that's the thing is,
it's BS.
You got to look at people's track record whenever it comes to this whole cancel culture thing.
Yep.
Because it goes for Starbucks, it goes for Drew Brees. Like, those are the two biggest ones so far that we've seen that have just been put on the chopping block instantly after all of the donations and all of the work that they've done.
Yeah. And even like those instances a couple months ago when those people had like those black guys were like asked to leave Starbucks, and remember that, and then they closed Starbucks and had them go through sensitivity training. And like, it's not like they're blind to all this.
Starbucks is not ignorant to what's going on around them. They're not.
And this almost feels like the whole thing with COVID too, where I got an email from every single company I've ever bought anything from.
Oh my God.
And every single one saying the same Black Lives Matter message.
Yeah, like, I get it. It's cool now, but like, at what point do we like, and even like as a white person, like, what do I do from now instead of just saying something?
Yeah.
Like, what can I do? Like, please tell me what I can do from here.
And that's my thing with like, when like we all play Call of Duty, when you get on that game, it says Black Lives Matter on the loading screen. It says it on every single loading screen going forward. But what does that really do?
Right.
Well, and so to that point, that and like the black profile pictures and stuff, how long do you leave it up before when you take it down, they're like, well, you don't care anymore? Like, how long does Call of Duty have to leave that up?
And that's wrong too.
Before they can take it down.
That's true too. They're almost damned if they do, damned if they don't.
So they leave it on a month, and then it's like, well, they obviously don't care anymore. You leave it on for a year. Like, how long, like you can, to show support, like how long is Starbucks going to allow their employees to wear a Black Lives Matter shirt? And then when they stop, they don't care anymore?
Did you guys see the
How do you, like, what's the right thing to do?
the pictures of Pelosi and the other Democrats in the African scarves and stuff?
Oh my God, bro.
I saw a meme that was great because
Remind me of Elvis Snow.
especially today because of Trump and everything else, like I am very left-leaning, supporting of most of those people. But when I saw that, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Fucking Black Panther over there.
And I saw a meme that said, why don't you guys just like, pass some laws instead of looking like a Wakandan chess set?
Yes, dude.
And the one I saw was Kerry Washington, a meme of her. You know how she acts with her face, like she's like all that teeth shit.
She's so weird. The mask with her face.
Yeah, no, it was her making like a weird face, and she's like the black intern when they press purchase on these African garbs.
That's true though, man. Like, what the fuck is that stuff doing? It doesn't do anything. It's just that's just as wrong as Trump kind of trying to come out and backtrack on his statements and say like that he's done things for Black lives and working in jobs. You were just doing it for political reasons. What have you done for me lately?
Right.
That's how all of this cancel culture should be.
Have you guys found any like charities that you've liked to donate to, or anything that you? Because one of my friends that does like taste testing, her name is Maggie. You know, you've met Maggie, right?
Yeah. Maggie.
She's doing a thing now where if you donate $25, she'll pull a combo out of a hat, like a combination of food, and she'll try it. So she's raised over like $380 or something.
I think that's phenomenal too. What a great idea. I loved her onion and bagel one. I
Yeah,
thought that
it was really
hilarious.
funny. So she posted an article from the New York Magazine that had like 100 charities that have been vetted and like are legitimate. So like Colin Kaepernick's was on there. And I found one called the Conscious Kid, which they make literature for schools that teach about Black history, like what we talked about last week. Like why isn't stuff like taught from the beginning?
Yep.
So they write literature, illustrate it, and like put it out into the school system.
Wow.
So that's the one that I donated.
Is that for like
to.
younger kids, or is that like all levels?
It's for right now. It's for like elementary age kids.
That's very cool.
That's still dope.
Yeah.
I just bought a hat. So it's bettertogether.store.com. And it's a local guy. Like they're from this area. It's JBF Customs and the Better Together program.
Mm-hmm.
And they teamed up. This design I thought was pretty dope.
Oh, that is dope.
I got that on a trucker hat, but
It's
they're
like the
donating
fist, but every finger is a different color.
This is the logo, which is pretty sick.
Oh yeah.
So, but they're donating 100% of the money to the National Education Association and the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People Legal Defense Fund. But they have like they different products. They donate it to a different
that's cool,
a minority organization or whatever. But I think like to your point, like getting in, I think donating to that stuff's cool. You just got to be careful where you're donating it to.
Yeah.
Like with many other things, like make sure you're give it to someone where you know where you're allocating funds and stuff. But it's a good point, like right now, because like to your question, like, cool, we're like posting messages and stuff, but what do we do next?
That's what I was thinking too.
Donations helps, like funding things like little or small, like it definitely helps. Like I bought a hat so I can wear the hat, talk about the program. It donated money to them. It was $36 with shipping and everything, which is expensive for a hat, but I know that it's because they're donating all of the money.
It's all going to a great cause.
Not like whenever we were at the zoo.
Right.
Different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think between that, I mean, I don't think that there's a problem with the messages and stuff. It's fine to educate the people around you, whether that's through social media or conversation or, this podcast or however you do it.
Yep.
When it comes to the actions, I think that it is important that you protest. We went to one. I know some people are going to a ton of them. I don't think it's necessary to go to every single one. I think it's important to vote. I think that that's the biggest way that you can change things and educate people on voting that don't know how.
And not just for the president.
And not just for the president, the local. And that's something that I'm guilty of, that I said, I'm going
and Congress
get more educated on. But I think it's just involvement. This awareness has stayed. It's maintained itself. I think we have to keep that going and now turn that into a plan of action.
Yep.
We've seen all of these changes. We're not seeing these changes if it's not for the protests.
Right.
You're not going to see the NFL coming out and apologizing. You're not going to see the players all kneeling. You're not going to see, all of these businesses firing people for racist things. And like Band-Aid, I saw the other day, came out with
color Band-Aids.
So
colored
cool.
Band-Aids.
Yeah.
So for all different skin colors.
Why wasn't that thing already?
98 years later.
Yeah, why wasn't that already a thing?
And somebody commented, well, they've had clear Band-Aids for a while now.
But why are the Band-Aids Caucasian colored? And why have they only never been Caucasian colored? Why aren't they're clear?
Do you know the history behind the Ice Cream Man song? You ever heard that?
I have heard it, but I don't remember. But I've heard it. What is it?
What's the Ice Cream Man song?
It's an old song that was released by Capitol Records in 1916.
Are you talking about like the ice cream truck, like the
Yeah. Yeah. And it was a cartoon of a guy in blackface with like big red lips.
Yeah.
About he was singing like the N-word.
Yeah.
Eating a watermelon. And how the watermelon was their ice cream. And that was the tune of the song. It was like a really catchy, like,
Jesus, man.
And then
for real?
And the person was talking about how racism is just ingrained into our culture. And we're never taught about that, but the African American community knows about that because they taught themselves about that.
Yep, right.
So every time they hear that ice cream song thrown through their neighborhoods, that's why a lot of ice cream trucks in our neighborhood don't use that.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's a good point.
It was released by Capitol Records.
I didn't know that.
There's a lot of, like, to that exact point, me and Chris were talking about at dinner about how, like, what was the day we just had? The Love Day.
Like yesterday.
Yeah, what was that?
International Love Day or interracial marriages or whatever.
Yeah, that
Loving.
or
Loving Day.
Loving Day. Black Wall Street. I never knew about Black Wall Street. I was not taught about Black Wall Street. Like, I wasn't, like, there's so much of that history what we talked about 2 weeks ago with Martin Luther King and, like, what happened to him outside of the just what they teach you as his speech.
Why don't we learn about that in Black History Month?
We need to learn that stuff. They need to be teaching stuff, even if it goes against making us look good as whites. They need to be teaching people that shit.
They do.
And you know
I
what?
did not know any of that.
You know what Black History Month was in my Catholic school when I was in kindergarten through 8th grade? Each day we'd learn about an African-American famous person, whatever, know, writer, movie star, whatever. We'd learn about them for about 2 minutes, their basic bio that you can find on Wikipedia. And they go, well, that's Black History for today, class. And then just move right on.
Juneteenth even.
Mm-hmm.
They did not teach us about that stuff in school. We did not learn that. Do you guys teach that?
So we get to do our own curriculum. So shout out to my buddy Dan. He actually does a really good job with it because that's something that he thinks is super important. So he mostly focuses on civil rights, but he does get in more in depth with some of that lesser known history. I've not sat in every class, so I don't know what all he teaches, but I know that he gets pretty in depth with it.
Yeah.
But he also does like great projects where like he has the kids, they have to go on and search for somebody themselves and teach something that they learn to the rest of the class and makes like boards up. Like he has his bulletin boards are fucking amazing. Like the one that he had was, student made famous Black people or Black history influence or things like that. And you got some of them that are the cliche Martin Luther King stuff everybody hears about.
Yeah.
But there's some stuff that I was reading on there that I'm like, I didn't fucking know that.
Yep.
And he's got another one that was really great. That's it's just two sides of the board. This isn't Black history, but I just think it's good. So I'm gonna give him a shout out. But it says, which side of history do you want to be on? And on the one side, it's all autobiography, like summary facts about evil people in history and like heroes of history. And it's just, it breaks down like, you got your Hitlers, your Stalins. He's got stuff like Darth Vader for fun and stuff too, but like super serious, like how they came to power, how, what all they did. And then all the positive people on the other side. I think it's dope.
Who does he have on the positive people side?
He has the Cleveland Browns and he has the Steelers on the bad side. I know that.
Of course he does. That's cool though. But I think we need to learn more about that stuff at a younger age because that's when you're developing.
That's a big reason why I chose that charity.
Outlook. Yeah. I think that's great.
And that's why there's so many misconceptions about like Martin Luther King's an example. So in terms of that he, never rioted or that he never, it was always peaceful protest and everything like that.
Yep.
That's because those people didn't learn about the real circumstances of everything going on. You brought up Selma last week, that movie, and it's a movie, but it's depicting,
real events.
Yeah, that took place. And not everything that Martin Luther King did was with peaceful connotation.
Like that famous picture where he's walking across the bridge. 5 minutes later, they were hit with fire hoses.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yep.
And dogs.
Yeah.
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 So we don't learn about that.
No. What did you guys think? I wanted to bring up a side question. What did you guys think about all the Confederate removal?
Boy, let me fucking go.
I saw a picture of who was it? I don't remember who it was, but it was a statue that was just decapitated, and the American flag was in the background. was like, man, if that doesn't win a Pulitzer Prize or
Right,
something.
bro.
Yeah.
Whew, I love it. I seen one. It was a meme of Christopher Columbus. They pushed over Christopher Columbus statue somewhere
Into the harbor.
Yeah. And,
Wow, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, and it was funny. Somebody made a meme. They're like, "Oh yeah, he must have tripped and fell," or they like listed off a bunch of shit about. Oh yeah, he pillaged a bunch of people and raped them. Like why?
He must have had congestive heart failure.
It was
too.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Like how they just were like tearing people apart on it. I'm
Yeah.
cool with it though.
Yeah.
Like the Confederate flag, I don't have any issue with them taking it down.
Like people always want to bitch about how we shouldn't erase our history, but we shouldn't celebrate
Right.
that history.
So
it's okay to learn about that and understand it, but it doesn't need to be celebrated.
Removing the flag from NASCAR doesn't erase the history. No one's going to forget about that. But we don't need to fly that flag and remind everybody about it every time they go to a NASCAR race.
And that's
can
the
still
key
teach
to it
about
is there's no history being removed. History is history.
It's
we
not
have it
going anywhere.
documented. One of the largest amounts of this destruction of history that people are saying the Confederate flag removal was in Nazi Germany.
Burning up the
They got rid of every single, not even that. I'm talking about after the war was won.
Okay.
We destroyed all the flags, the memorabilia, the gold was melted down and redistributed.
Yep.
They destroyed everything they could get their hands on.
Yep.
If you have a Nazi gold or Nazi paraphernalia,
it's
you can go to
felony.
jail. It's
Yeah.
a felony crime.
I told you that story about how I saw one in my uncle's house.
And none of us are old enough
Mhm.
to have been alive during that time.
Mhm.
Yet we all know what they did. We know who Hitler is. We
Yep.
know what they stood for. We know how the war went. None of that was lost because of that history.
That's a good point.
The Nazis destroyed tons of Jewish history,
Mhm.
but we still know tons about their history. And they really destroyed. That's destroying history,
Yeah.
going in, destroying books and all
And
that other
art
stuff.
and
That's real destruction of history.
Yep.
But the Confederacy was a group of let's just assume for a second that it's not racist. That really none of it is tied to racism, has nothing to do with black people. It's all just we really are caring about our heritage. That shit lasted for 5 years. And they were traitors.
Mhm.
Seceding from the Union. That literally means to leave the country. They said, we are no longer going to be Americans. Fuck you. And if you try to stop us, we'll go to war.
Mhm.
They were traitors who killed our men and lost a war. We don't fly flags for Al-Qaeda in memory because of 9/11 because it has history tied to it.
preach.
We don't fly Vietnamese flags or Japanese flags in Pearl Harbor because we had a war and there was history to it.
Preach.
So why the fuck do we glorify this flag and generals and even the flag? I can get by the flag because some people fly other nations' flags out of their heritage and things like that. Fine. But you've got Southern Confederate generals in American soil, in our parks, in our state buildings.
Yeah.
And those are staying? Are we going to put an Osama bin Laden fucking statue at the base of the World Trade Centers?
Mhm.
Imagine being
So
black and
ignorant,
walking
bro.
past those statues every day.
Right. And we have enough shitty history of our own. Like, fine. We can keep up the Thomas Jeffersons who owned slaves and keep those statues and stuff. Okay, that's history. Fine.
Put 'em
But
in
at
a
least it's our history.
Right.
And that's our decision to make. That's not even our history. That's a nation that lasted 5 years and then we wiped them out because
Yep.
fuck them.
Put it in a museum. If you want to have a statue or you want to talk about it, put it in a museum. It doesn't need to be in a public place. That's a celebration. You don't
Mhm.
just erect statues of people that you hate so you can see them every day.
No. And let me first
So
of all
silly.
say, I will start this by saying I support everything that's being removed of this because it is well documented what that flag represents. And I am not going to treat you like you're an idiot. You shouldn't treat me like one. We both know what that flag stands for. That's the end of the story. My question to Ryan that I had over dinner was, so basically we're removing the Confederate flag from everywhere that's being hung. Would you be opposed to creating a new American flag if they were getting rid of that? And that's the poll I want to hear from listeners too.
Just like because of all the stuff that we've done under
our
America?
history. Yeah. I mean, it's not all beautiful.
I wouldn't be opposed to it because I don't think that there's a lot of value in items
Mhm.
and idols, basically. Would I rally for it? Probably not, because I don't think that you'll ever find any nation or flag that doesn't have some type of atrocities in their past in
Mhm.
some form or fashion. And if we did make a new flag, there would be an atrocity that was done under that one.
Mhm.
But I wouldn't be like upset about it. I don't put a lot of value into things like that.
I don't either.
I think that
it's just a flag to me.
Right. And for me, the symbolism comes from myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the anthem, the words of the anthem, the things that go on, the national anthem is a song about a guy making it through the night of a war.
Mm-hmm.
There's no significance to our patriotism. There's no, he woke up and the flag was still there. We knew that we didn't get our asses kicked. That's essentially what the national anthem is. But for me, it represents my family, my friends, and the people who have died before for me.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't represent the atrocities. It doesn't represent the slavery or, wars that we probably shouldn't have gotten into, the murders and the terrible things that.
But to be fair, couldn't a Confederate person who supports theirs say the same thing about theirs?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's what I'm saying, like playing both sides.
And that's my thing is and that's where we get into, I wouldn't support, if you had a Confederate flag on your truck, I would not support any type of law that would make you remove that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that that's part of our country and our freedom of speech. Now, if you get your ass kicked for it, that's on you.
Yeah.
Make your decision.
Absolutely.
And I think that those people have the right to continue to make Confederate flags. I think that they have the right to fly them in their homes. There's one that we drove by last week after mini golf. I think that person has the right to have it there. But
you don't have freedom from it.
When you're in public parks and state buildings, those are government run.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that falls under just the exact same thing as the In God We Trust, the Bible thing, and all that other stuff. I'm a strong believing Christian. I do not believe that God has a place in our public parks, government buildings, because there's supposed to be a separation.
I agree.
I don't think that other nations' honorment should be in those places either.
Mm-hmm.
Honor your country. That's fine. I'm good with that. If we decided to do that, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I don't put as much value into that. I'll value what I value still, regardless of what that flag looks like.
Yeah.
The flag's gone through changes before.
Mm-hmm.
It'll go through changes again.
Yeah. And is this one of those times is the question?
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Yeah.
It's just got to look cool. If we get a whack flag, our flag is dope.
Honestly, I like our flag, but to that point, if it needed to change for something, then I don't care one way or another. I don't even own an American flag.
Yeah. It doesn't mean that much to me. Like everybody always puts so much into it. I just see it and I go, it's just a flag. Everybody took it so personal with the Kaepernick thing. And
I had an American flag on my front porch. It was the first thing I bought whenever I bought my house because I wanted to support my country and show that.
Okay.
And I got a Ring doorbell and it picked up on the flag every time the wind blew. So I took it down.
America, cautionary tale.
So
yeah, I don't know, man. We're in a
that did convict me a little bit though. It's a tough question.
It's
because there is a lot of stuff rooted in that where, I mean, I do consider myself a patriot. I believe in our rights and stuff. So that is a difficult thing for me. It's difficult for me to say that I might turn my back on the flag during the anthem.
And
those things are tough.
And the words you used were you said that country, everything that it's about, like, looking at our flag, it's not just about that for me. It's about the good things too. It's about my family. It's about, the ones who served in war and all that. To me, I think, though, a Confederate person can say the same argument. I think they could say, well, yeah, some people consider it's about racism, but it's not about that for me. It's about, whatever they're going to say, whatever bullshit. I don't support it, but,
right. And I don't think that every single person does have it for racist reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are some people who think of it as Southern heritage and, whatever. But what does it stand for mostly?
Mm-hmm.
The swastika was not always the evil... Nazi rallying.
Its initial connotation was not the Nazi Germany.
Our flag
like
should
swastika.
be that S that we used to draw in high school.
Stussy?
Oh, the three lines.
Three lines. Yeah.
Dude, yeah. God, that took me back.
That'd be dope.
Let's do that.
I used to end my name with those. Like, I'd spell it CHRI, and then I'd put that S on the end.
Yeah, bro. I don't know if I would remember how to draw that.
I do.
It's just 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, line, cross, top, bottom. And then I used to do the lines to make it like a shadow. Like take the lines off the ends.
Off the side of it.
You were fancy.
Damn, I didn't go that.
If you do it on line paper, you get it perfect because the lines will be the same length.
Damn, that's detailing right there.
Loved it.
Good times. Yeah, so I don't know. We're at a big crossroads, I think, in a lot of places right now in our society between politicians, race issues, everything with the police. And it's a lot to think about. It's mentally, it's draining. I mean, there's so much going on for I mean, people like Chris and me specifically, just with our work situations, we don't work in the same type of place, but like there's still so much going on because of COVID shit, which is extremely stressful. And then we got everything else going on that we're trying to be supportive of and be a part of, you know, with all the change and stuff that needs to happen. And it's a lot. Like, it's been a fucking rough year.
I don't think there's been any year like this year.
No, man. We still got a lot of year left too. So fuck, who knows what else is what's gonna come next. But and it's just nonstop. Like we continue, even with everything that's going on, like these stories aren't stopping.
No.
You know, like for whatever fucking reason, it's still not happening. We had the old man last week that got pushed down. We got the guy that got shot behind Wendy's yesterday. Like, cops are still doing stupid shit. The police chief of Miami resigned because one of their cops shot an unarmed black man. Like, I don't know the full details, so I'm not going to talk about it. Like, this stuff is still happening, even with everything going on, which is so crazy to me. I don't know when it freaking stops and what's the next step.
And I told you during our hangout today, I said, if that were me, if I were a police officer, one of the good ones, that would make me madder than anybody else. Because I say, you're making it tougher for us every day.
Yeah.
And you need to get the fuck out of here. Seriously.
Yeah. Things aren't going to change until people start holding each other accountable.
Accountability, brother. That's all it is.
And voting's going to be a big one. But like, this is over the course of years. This isn't anything that's going to be done by next year.
Mm-hmm.
There's a massive push for voting, though.
There's a big push for voting, but
every single. I mean, we only went to the one protest, but all the protests I've seen on live and things like that, people are pushing for. Voting,
signing people
up, making sure. Like, I've seen people on accountability groups, like, hey, this is the day that we got to go. Hey, here are some resources to make an educated decision.
The one day the voting was happening was the one day that you were supposed to put the black picture on your Facebook and do the hashtag. Mm-hmm. And people were saying that the black picture and the hashtag was taking away from the information of the voting.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to use the Black Lives Matter hashtag.
Yes, and people
were using it unknowingly.
Yeah.
Because what they were saying is people were pushing that intentionally.
Yes.
To wash that hashtag away.
Mm-hmm.
So all that information
you couldn't see any voting information. You just saw black pictures.
Yep. Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff like that. I mean, did you guys see the bill that Trump passed that took away a bunch of LGBTQ rights?
Yeah.
Totally fallen under the wayside because of all the protests.
Yeah.
It's not because it's not, a valid protest. It's just people got to stay aware of everything that's going on.
We get distracted.
Yeah. And focus too much on one thing, you get tunnel vision, and other shit starts going wrong around you.
Yep. It's hard to find that balance. There's so much going on that you have to try and hold yourself accountable to.
They're professional politicians, whether you think he's dumb or
no,
you think
they know what they're doing.
He's got a team around him, and they're gonna use it to this whole thing to their advantage.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we'll probably see another 4 years of him.
He's not dumb politically, and he ain't dumb business-wise. The dude didn't become a billionaire for nothing. Regardless of what people say about the small $1 million loan and all that shit, like, dude knows what he's doing.
Yep.
He can be a dumbass.
He's a businessman. He's just socially ignorant.
Exactly.
And that's just what's scary to me, because he, through his life and through things that he's done, he's always profited off of situations like this.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's the ultimate opportunist.
Yeah. It's just scary. Asshole, man, he's such a dick. Not you. No.
Fair enough.
Just anytime I just hate that man so much.
What happens when he wins in November?
I know.
Then what?
Well, then we know for sure.
Ask the CIA.
That's
the only conversation
that's
earlier.
The last 4 years.
Yeah, then it might be ours too.
4 more years, man.
Look what all has happened in 3. Not even 3.5 yet.
Mm.
We're not even the halfway point.
I mean, even if he doesn't get elected, what the fuck is Joe Biden gonna do?
Sleepy fucking Joe?
Same
Creepy
thing.
Joe?
That's the way it is for me. It's like I look at it as it's not an easy decision either way. I know, like, we've talked about Trump and everything that goes into that, but to me, I don't think there's a winner in this situation. Even if Biden gets elected, I don't think we go, yeah, we won.
I really need to know who he's picking for his running mate.
I do think,
and that needs to happen soon.
Yeah, even if Biden wins, though, I don't think a lot happens in terms of politics and change. But I do think that our standing in the world
He's gonna do a lot of
gets
sniff
back
testing.
up to where it was.
Mm.
Might not be up at the level where Obama was, but the world's not going to look at us as a joke anymore.
I can't
We'll
see
be able to get some allies back.
Well, yeah, for sure. I can't see him being even half the president Obama was, though.
No,
Like,
God, no. He shouldn't have been the representative.
No. Well, and they had, they had their opportunities, man. That's what it is. Same shit.
He needs to announce it. Michelle is his running mate.
Honestly, you know who I think would be the best
talked
running
about
mate
it.
for him?
Hmm.
Chris's girl.
I
Tulsi.
think so
I
too.
like Tulsi. Yeah.
Veteran, young, fiery, decent stuff.
The only candidate that Trump did not want to face
Yep.
was Tulsi Gabbard.
Because Kamala's got just as much shit in her closet that
Yeah.
they'll be able to bash and say, oh, as a prosecutor, she did this for Black Lives, blah, blah, blah.
Is Trump having Pence again?
I think
Yeah.
he has to.
Yeah, he has to.
Does he have to?
Yeah.
I thought I saw something where he said if he ran again, he wasn't going to have Pence be his.
But he doesn't know
VP
how
again.
that works.
That's very possible.
He's done other shit. He's
I'm
not
going to have
allowed
a
to do.
V8 juice as my running mate.
Yeah. I could have sworn I saw somewhere he said he was not going to have Pence again.
He's done shit before that he's not allowed to
Well,
do.
Pence is like talked like he's like gone off like what you would think he would be like.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like he's. I think I feel like I've seen him say stuff that just doesn't fit with the agenda
Yeah.
as much.
I think there's a lot of times where Pence is up there biting his lip, man. I think so. And he's not a great person by any stretch of
No.
the imagination either. But I think there's times where he's up there and he's just like, man, just clap your hands and, just smile and wave.
That's how
Yeah.
they all are, man.
He's always just standing there in the background, like straight faced.
He was for that LGBTQ though. Like he was all for getting rid of those rules and breaking those down because that's all that guy's about.
Mhm.
I mean, that's his number one initiative.
He's your radical Christian person,
crazy,
like
man.
extreme level.
Conversion camp.
Exactly.
And here's what I say. So one of the rules in that is that kids aren't allowed to be adopted by gay parents now.
Same-sex couples.
So here's what I say. Go let them live with, Donald Trump and let them live with, Vice President Pence since they're cool taking over all these kids now. Rock
Right.
on. You guys take them.
So did it pass?
Yeah.
I think he just was able to do it.
And it's just sweeping like all states.
all their
They're just- you
benefits,
can't-
man. They're
Well,
like
went through
losing
the
insurance
House.
rights, and
So they're not allowed to adopt at all. I didn't look into it that much.
that was
so-
one of the things they can't adopt. But even more so than that, there's like insurance and medical things that they've taken away. Where now during a fucking
Trans people
pandemic,
don't have any type.
they
of,
don't
like,
have any kind of like medical coverage and stuff.
It's basically everything that Obama fought hard for. Trump has worked twice as hard to deconstruct and break down.
Yeah. So when I was talking to my aunt, the
That's
nurse
great.
that we brought up last week, she was talking about how they have specific medical centers just for
Yeah.
LGBTQ, and it primarily focuses on people who have like transitioned in the trans community. But then there's other people who just whatever, like a gay couple might not feel comfortable going to a regular hospital, so they're more likely
Okay.
to go to the doctor, and a lot of that stuff got cut too. So they have no way of getting any type
And
of
that's
medical.
another thing I have a problem with with the party system. Is like 4 years of a Republican and 4 years of a
They
Democrat.
can just change everything
and 4
back.
years of a Republican. And it just goes back and forth
Flip-flops
and back. I
and-
hate it so much.
Yep. And here and
But
my,
there's nothing necessarily that says it has to swap back and forth. Like
Right.
Trump can win this, and then what is he, Republican or Democrat?
Oh, he's
I'm
Republican.
ignorant.
It's
I really
Trump.
don't know the difference between the parties. I don't-
Republican.
I don't-
He's Republican.
So like he could win next year, and then after his term, a Republican could still
Yeah.
win. But I agree to the point. Like it's always so crazy to me that someone else could come in and just say, "Well, fuck that guy," and
I know.
People want change.
That's why a lot doesn't get done though, too.
yeah,
Yeah.
we
You go
never have
from
any
the two
long-standing
extremes.
change.
People don't want the same thing over and over and over again. And that's the thing is, no matter who it is, you look back at the greatest president of all time, people hated him at some point because they always do something that people aren't going to like on one side.
Who was the
That's-
greatest president of all time?
I don't know. It doesn't
That's
matter.
different for every person.
JFK?
Yeah. JFK is one that
For me
people-
personally,
a lot of
he's
people
one
didn't
of-
like. Reagan was one that a lot of people didn't like. Fucking FDR, 3 terms, but
Yeah.
that's pretty much the only one people always liked. Like,
Yeah.
it's just
FDR did 3 terms. Was that before they
he was the reason that they
cut it to 2?
cut it to.
I thought Cleveland did too.
Oh, you might be right about that.
Yeah. Cleveland or Taft.
I think FDR they wanted him to do a 4th, and then they
It's
were
like
like,
a trivia
"No, we can't do
question."
that."
Yeah.
Right.
Let's call somebody.
Speaking of which, real quick, rest in peace on tap.
I know, man.
Oh, yeah.
We used to do our trivia there every single Tuesday.
Moment of silence.
Moment of silence.
All right. So, no, that is sad though, because they felt like that's one of those places that because of everything going on,
Yeah.
it's gonna be more of them, man.
We'll never have their chicken tenders again.
Well, we'll just go to the Cuyahoga Falls one.
Oh,
That
wasn't all of them. It was just the one.
That's what I was.
Yeah, it's just the
They're
one
just
in
independent.
Stowe.
What am I silent for?
Because Courtney lost her job.
They're independently owned, bro.
I thought she didn't work. Oh yeah.
Yeah, for like 17 years.
He's like silence.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, she spilled barbecue sauce on this shoe the second day I got it, and it's still the stain is still on the toe.
Well, that's cute.
Good job, Courtney. Probably still tipped her really well.
Oh God, yeah.
Just a tip. There's more than one, bro. You don't have to be sad.
I knew there was more than one. I thought they all went under that.
I always tip Courtney.
Okay.
Independent.
Courtney's the best waitress I've ever had.
I'm trying to think. I thought I saw Courtney on your page once. Anyway.
Hi, Courtney.
Yeah. But yeah.
I don't remember what we're talking about now. Place is going under. The end of the world. It's written in the Bible. End of times is coming.
I guess the Mayan calendar says the world's gonna end next week.
Yeah, they were wrong.
Oh, again, yay!
They got the date wrong. They missed
for
a
real?
page or something, and now it's gonna happen.
They missed a page.
Well, now it's lining up pretty good.
I always love when they go back on that too, man. The best is when they retract that statement. Like, okay, so here's what happened. All right,
Right.
Little Susie was in the den because you know how much kids like to play with the Bible, and she had a little bit of peanut butter on her fingers, and she smushed the page. So really, the 2 was a 6. Here comes another 40 years of fundraising.
Right.
What the fuck was that? Oh my
Sorry.
God.
I'm done.
How many more end of the worlds are we gonna have though?
It was supposed to happen when I was at Rock on the Range in 2011. It didn't.
Y2K we had.
And Y2K was crazy.
Bro, I remember sitting there like fucking just staring, like waiting in my basement.
Were you guys like worried? Legit?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I was young. I thought I was dying.
You
I was
guys
8.
You're 8. Okay. You guys are the same age, right?
I'm
2 years.
I'm 2 years older.
How old are you?
31.
3 years older than me. So he was 11.
I mean, we were young. Like I believed it.
Mm-hmm.
I remember sitting in my basement just fucking waiting for the clock to tick. Like, we're still here. Everything's okay.
That was back when I was getting.
You were getting eaten?
You're getting eaten?
Whoa,
No,
hey.
bro. I was getting.
Hey.
I was gonna say getting.
You were 11. God
Damn.
Gotta learn, right?
Jeez, starting them young. Licking
Bringing
them
in
lips.
Y2K with Epstein.
Whoa, hey.
Moment of silence for Nick getting eaten.
Okay, so
All right.
I was gonna say I was getting internet delivered via CD.
Oh yeah, remember that
Yeah.
AOL disc?
Yeah.
AOL 2.0. Oh.
You've got mail. Dude, that was the worst, bro.
And somebody would pick up the phone.
Yeah, the phone would fucking ring.
Oh.
That was the worst.
I used to lie about who I was online. Like I would say I'm all these like basketball players. Like one time I said I was Scott Padgett from Kentucky, and I used to say all this stuff. Like there was one time my brother and I used to go on there and we'd be like, dude, seriously, someone call 911. Like my house is being broken into right now. We were kids. We were stupid.
Oh my God.
So we're like, I'm in Salt Lake City. Like, you know,
This is the original Catfish.
I know, right?
yeah. Like, we're like, please help me. And some people would be like, good, awesome. Hope you get it.
Hope you dar.
Damn. People were fucked up on
ASL.
the internet from the beginning.
Bro.
It's hard to believe that was like 20 years ago now, man.
That is
Jesus.
crazy, though. I do remember getting those discs, like 60 days free or whatever.
Yep.
I'd live off those, man. Fuck.
AOL. That's a show topic in itself.
Yeah, well, Instant Messenger.
Yep.
That was the best thing ever, man.
I remember when Roadrunner came out and everybody was
Roadrunner,
freaking out because it
yeah.
was so fast. You could
So
get on the
quick.
internet in like 3 minutes.
Mhm.
Jesus. God. How things have changed. Now we got the internet.
Thank you,
fucking in our
Wi-Fi.
hands at any time.
I saw something the other day that said like all the computers that originally put like a man on the moon aren't even close to like as powerful as the phone in your hand.
Oh, yeah, man.
Wow.
It's like crazy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Technology blows my mind.
It eats Nick.
Nick likes it getting eaten. It's getting eaten in my basement at 11. It's a tasty treat.
That's why Y2K was so scary.
Hey.
I just remember I was on a lawn chair and I'm like, if it happens, it happens.
That
We're on a lawn chair?
Yeah, I was.
Bro, I was waiting. It was because it was supposed to happen at midnight.
Mhm.
Sitting in my basement, like, what the fuck's going down? Worst New Year's ever. Dude, that was awful.
20 years, man.
Yeah. I remember I was playing that day I was playing the motocross game on N64.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what that was called right now. Motor 8 or something. I don't know. I remember that game had just come out. It's all I was fucking playing. And now we've got the end of times with Donald Trump.
Could be.
He's gonna hit the big red button. Blow us all to pieces.
I just better be able to play that PlayStation 5 before he does.
Jesus.
I just want to see tennis.
I knew Nick was going to say that. I almost said that.
Man, it keeps getting pushed back and pushed back.
Nick just wants to see tennis.
Yo, if I got to do one more thing before he pushes the big red button, it ain't tenant or playing PlayStation. I'll tell you that.
You're going to be jerking off.
I'll be doing something else.
Just like that dude that died at Mount Vesuvius.
I'll be finding the Julia Fox or something.
You ever seen that? There's the masturbating man.
He's frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
bro.
got covered in ash.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
He was jerking it?
Uh-huh.
Like, I'm going out on top, bro.
That's not on top.
That's the only thing exploding.
Like below ass.
I don't think he got to because it was still like erect.
His tombstone said he came.
He's been
he
stricken
saw.
with
He conquered.
rigor mortis.
Jeez.
What a shitty way to go.
I don't know, man. It's pretty sweet. It's kind of the American
Kind of
dream.
embarrassing. Good God.
Show's off the rails.
This show.
I know.
Let's go play basketball.
Yeah, I don't think we have anything else to talk about anyways.
I don't think so.
Basketball?
Basketball is my favorite sport. I like
Oh,
it when
yeah.
you dribble up and down the court.
What about Bronny? What happened with Bronny BZ? Bronny
Nicholas.
Jr.
That's these guys.
What do you mean?
Why was everybody hating on Bronny? Is that like a normal thing?
No, they were just giving him a
Who's
hard
trying to
time
troll?
because they knew if they were to give him a donation, then their comment would be read out loud by the
Yeah.
computer. So they were saying some inappropriate
Yeah,
things.
so
that,
stupid,
that would get
man.
bad fast.
I also don't understand why people would donate to him. Why are you streaming for donations?
Right.
Mm.
Well, I wonder, is he actually streaming for donations or is it like you can't comment unless you make it a donation?
Either way.
I don't know how it works.
Like you can still comment, but the comments aren't read on screen.
Okay, I got you.
Unless
so they're paying. 'Cause they
pay.
want their shit to be seen, so they
Yeah,
can
but that's
be.
whack.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine though being a kid like that? You can't even just fucking play your shit without having people telling you you're like, whatever. I won't get into the comments, but that's just fucked up, man. People are awful.
That kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you guys have ever seen sleep streams on YouTube, people going through sleep streams.
Mm-mm.
So what they'll do is they'll go online and they'll turn on their camera for the whole night when they're sleeping.
Fuck that.
And you get to pay, the audience get to pay like, $10, $20, gets you like a song that you can play while he's sleeping. Dude, they mess with these people so bad, man. They play like the loudest bass. They play like people humping and, having sex and all kinds of shit.
Oh, yeah.
I'll send you the link. It's unbelievable.
I would do that. If people were going to pay me to sleep.
Yeah, and he made
no, bro. I don't want someone watching me sleep. That's
I'll
weird,
put
bro.
fucking earplugs in before you even realize.
the guy I saw made, I think, $22,000.
Come on,
Dude, it was
man.
insanity.
Chicks are making 90 grand off OnlyFans right now.
Yeah.
What are we
I'll
doing?
make 20 grand off of sleep.
I bet you I could make 10 grand off of OnlyFans if I made one.
Do it.
I bet you.
Do it. If you make one and you make it, I'll make one.
I never thought about that. I guess there is guy OnlyFans.
Do it.
There is.
Jesus.
How are you gonna make 10 grand? What's your plan?
Someone's gonna eat them.
Hey,
No, man. I'll make it work.
10 grand, bro.
I am going to share that link everywhere.
You can either be a Patreon supporter or you can check out my OnlyFans. It's also called Does It Suck?
Yeah, bro. Mad money. Big. If I was a chick, bro. If I'm a chick, I'm having an OnlyFans.
It's just branding across the board.
You gotta make no money.
That's free money, dude. Like, seriously.
You gotta do nothing, man. I'm gonna sell feet photos or something.
Hey,
Such easy money.
Is that how you're gonna make your 10 grand? Feet photos?
hey, I'm not opposed, man.
Go get that Tesla.
Do people buy pictures of guys' feet?
Yeah,
What?
it's a thing.
What?
I'm not opposed.
Bro, I'm doing that. I'm starting
showing
that.
off my
Let's do
toes.
it. Let's have a podcast OnlyFans.
I'm down,
We
man.
just share pictures of our feet.
I'll do that. I'll make an OnlyFans for my feet. I don't care.
You in, Chris?
Sure. I got size 16.
He's got his out right now.
Feet fans.
16s?
Mhm. Look at
That's
that.
the moneymaker right there.
Hey!
You gotta like rub Crisco through your toes and stuff.
That Deuce Bigelow scene.
And whatever they want. You can crush fruit. You can,
Bro, can we make some money?
Make some wine for me.
Oh, Daddy. Crush those berries.
I keep my feet in
Napa
good
Valley.
shape.
Napa Valley.
You dog, you. Napa Valley.
Is that a Bordeaux?
Holy shit, bro.
This episode's flown off the rails.
Yeah,
fast.
this show's done.
All right, y'all.
Tune in
Well,
next week for our feet.
for our feet fans. We'll put the link in the description. Make sure to sign up,
Tune in next week for our feet.
subscribe, share with your friends.
Napa.
Hey.
We'll go run 3 miles and pull them bad boys out.
Is that a Chardonnay?
Podcast.
Pinot Grigio.